gonna backtrack. And you should've kept the name out your mouth. Ask me though how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give me something you could talk about.
Hello everybody, how are you doing this fine? Tuesday, December 30th. It is the day before New Year's Eve, and they're testing my nerves. Okay, they're testing my nerves out here. One of my New Year's resolutions, like probably last year, maybe the year before, even before. I usually don't make resolutions, honestly. I just like if I want to do something different, I'm gonna just start right now. But just like for fun, I'll pick a New Year's resolution from time to time. And one of them is like, to stop losing my temper so much and try to have, more empathy. I think I'm pretty empathetic, but there's always room for more. Just, basically just trying to be like a better person in general and not, maybe not calling people such mean names unless they really, really deserve it. And I'm gonna tell y'all before the new year even starts, if that's gonna be one of my resolutions, I better get it all out my system right now because I am nowhere close. Okay. I am nowhere close. We are going to talk about some things today that are going, oh man, my gears considered them to consider my gears to be grinded. Okay. Ground, whatever. Okay. It's grinding my gears. I'm mad. It's pretty much all men. I don't think I'm mad at any women today, but I don't know, maybe I will be, who knows? But sometimes it's women, I would say most of the time, most of my ops are women, like Lou Taylor and this person, that person, but who girl, Grant, Camille. The gears have been grind. Okay. Shout out to IMDex. Shout out to IMDex. IMDex TV. Did y'all see specifically IMDex, but did y'all see ADAM22 Gray Mason does have a diss track out. We're gonna be reacting to that today. Okay. We just need to set aside a time to get the pettiness out. See, the way that I have been I'm reading some of y'all's stuff. Y'all are funny. The way that I have been trying to manage is because I'm Aries rising. All right. Like my rising sign is Aries. Like to some extent, I'm always going to be, a warrior. I'm going to be a fighter. I'm going to be a little scrappy, as it were. But like in my life, this time around, at least, I have been scrappy, more so with words, more so with my words. I'm like a word warrior, as it were. Plus I'm a Virgo. That's Mercury, the ruling planet, the planet of words. So whatever, usually I try to, we'll say, I don't know, like release the planet of war pressure valve on people that actually deserve it or need it. Like, my dad taught me at a young age that don't start none, but if somebody starts it with you, you better finish it. And I mean, he meant actually fighting, but I think he realized pretty quickly, like I didn't want to do that. I didn't even want to play T-ball. Okay. I took the mask and the glove and put a T-ball and put it over my face like this and just looked at the sun through the holes in the T-ball mitt. My team got called in. I was still looking at the sun. Okay, that was the one T-ball game I played. All right, so it wasn't gonna be like I wasn't gonna be doing too much physical. Okay, so I mean, I just got good with words, and so for pretty much 35 years, pretty much the whole time, I've just been like, basically like cussing people out to various degrees of Jerry Springer, like to various degrees of like letting it be. Do I want it to be like one aspect of my personality, which is, where I grew up and where I come from, or another aspect of my personality, which is what I learned in law school, where if I really need to switch into the, sort of the thing, how the professors talk, like if I really need to switch into this because my survival literally depended on it, I mean, I could do it. Okay. So like pretty much like I had to just learn how to exist in all these spaces. In every single space I've been in, I've learned how to cuss people out in it. Okay. I'm talking like corporate email cuss out, you can't actually cuss, but you could let them know. So now I think it's time to continue on and just like try to be nice to people. But y'all, they're out here testing me. They are testing my nerves. All right. I just feel like I'm not ready to never say anything mean again. All right. That being said, I'm going to be doing my best. You know what I mean? I'm going to be trying my best. Mars is a planet of war, right? Aries, right? Aries is ruled by Mars, which is war. Mercury is Virgo, rules Virgo as well. So I have both of those in my big three. This t-shirt is sold out. Yes, but it was a they lied type of day. All right. It was a they lied type of day. Okay. The purple, no, 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 no. The Adam2216 diss track is not against me. The diss track is against someone else, but it's 3. Okay, y'all. Really, it's not hard. It's very easy. It's very easy. There's 3 planets. There's your sun planet, there's your moon sign, not planet. There's your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. It's called the big 3. Mine include Virgo and Aries. Anyway. Okay, so let me okay, so the things we're gonna talk about today for sure. We're gonna talk about David. We're going to talk about Adam 2216 Grand Mason's diss track. I'm going to do a little reaction to that. And then we're going to talk for sure about Tylor Chase. I have some thoughts about the Tylor Chase situation. Now, other things that are potentially on the docket, although maybe don't get your hopes up today for it, but if we have time and if I feel like it, then the other things potentially on the docket will be Diddy and Tylor Robinson. Okay, so there's some Diddy updates, and the only really, I mean, I guess I could just tell y'all what they would be about right now just to get out of the way. But the reason that I'm not like leading with those is because there's not that much stuff to talk about. The Tylor Robinson thing, the judge is kind of just like leaning toward probably letting cameras be in the courtroom to some extent. They did have a little hearing yesterday, and then Diddy has Lemuel Plummer from Zeus Network over there making a docuseries with his kids or something. They got Christian Combs and Justin Combs, I think that those two in the documentary series. I don't know if it's like a reality series, a documentary series. I mean, I personally really don't know, but it doesn't look entertaining in the least. But since, I feel like it's kind of like my job to know what is said on all these Diddy documentaries at this point, I will certainly be watching it and I'll be letting y'all know about it and everything like that. But I think it's going to be coming on the Zeus Network. So, however, oh, my keyboard done died. What a perfect time. So whenever that comes out, I don't know, Zeus Network is that on YouTube? I don't know, girl. I'll figure it out. Okay. So let's start with the topics I want to talk about today for sure. And that's going to be starting with David. Okay, D4VD. Y'all probably saw this already at this point, but they are expecting an indictment to come down in the David case from this current grand jury. Now, this is news for 2 reasons. The second, I guess I'll tell you the second part of the news. The second part of it is that they're expecting the indictment, or at least an indictment, to come down on David himself for murmur. Now, this is being exclusively reported by TMZ. So let me pull up this page. Okay. So this was yesterday. See, it says exclusive. It says David likely to be indicted in Celeste Rivas murmur. Okay. Obviously I'm mispronouncing murmur. Y'all can read it yourself right there. This came out yesterday, about 6:30 my time, PM. They never put who wrote the article, just as TMZ staff. Singer David will likely face murmur charges for the death of Celeste, and that's because the grand jury that's hearing the case will be asked to hand down an indictment, sources tell TMZ. So another reason why this is big news, or news at all, is because previously it was reported by various outlets that this grand jury that had convened in this case had nothing to do with indicting grand jury. No, no, no. This was not a grand jury who could, or which could even if it wanted to indict somebody, including David, they couldn't do it because this was a petty grand jury. Okay, this is a small grand jury, and they were calling it an investigatory grand jury, an investigative grand jury. So they were trying to tell us in the media that there was no indictment powers of this grand jury. It's a different type of thing. Well, kind of early on in all that getting reported, Mark Garagos, of course, did come out and say he didn't think that this was nothing like no investigative grand jury. He said he thought it was the real deal, the real grand jury that could do all the real grand jury stuff, including indict David and others. So they're now telling us that this grand jury actually might be able to indict. And in fact, and indeed, we should possibly expect not only an indictment, but also a specifically an indictment against David. Now, somebody asked me yesterday why I am always brushing my nose with the brush. Y'all, there is a whole video on this. If you're curious, you can go and type in on YouTube after this video is over, BJ investigates drug test results. Okay. And you can get the whole story on that. Also, somebody asked me yesterday, in comments, maybe they were trying to be nice or something. No. Actually, no, they weren't, because they were trying to tell me what to do. And y'all know I'm allergic to that. So somebody was saying, stop touching your hair. No. And then somebody else was like, why do you touch your hair so much? And it's because I feel like it. That's the answer. Because I want to. It's my hair and I can touch it however much I want. So, because I feel like it. That's the answer. Okay. So I'm really glad to get those answering y'all's burning questions and get that out of the way. Thank you. Because I feel like it. That's usually going to be the answer to stuff. If you ask me why I'm doing stuff, it's because I feel like it. You trying to tell me not to do something, I'm gonna usually probably say something like, I don't work for you. Okay. What kind of question even is that? I mean, that's a good question. I mean, who knows? Who even freaking knows? Why do they care? I don't know. I mean, I used to think this, but like, I actually get it. Like, if I was them and I was looking at me, I would probably care what I was doing too. So I can't even really answer the question. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, anyway. All right. So there was a report last month. We're gonna continue on with this David article. There was a report last month that the grand jury was an investigative grand jury. A grand jury that helps authorities gather evidence, but one that does not indict. An investigative grand jury can be useful to subpoena and then force uncooperative witnesses to testify. So we were kind of like being told this is kind of like what was going on. It was like just to help the cops do more of an investigation because there was people that weren't talking or not being cooperative. And so this was going to allow the cops, or the prosecutors rather, to get subpoenas and then try to get people to talk under court order, stuff like that. Well, that's kind of being walked back a little bit. TMZ is saying their sources, again, this is an exclusive. Our sources say the grand jury that has been hearing witnesses in the Celeste Rivas murmur is actually one that will vote on indictments. And multiple sources tell TMZ that authorities, including prosecutor Beth Silverman, believe David was involved in the unalive of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. TMZ broke the story earlier this month that David's day-to-day manager, Robert Morgan Roth, testified for days. Remember, TMZ came out with that and was like, oh, we caught him talking too loud in the hall and talking about the prosecutor was pushy on some questions. A TMZ reporter heard Morgan Roth tell his lawyer in the courtroom hallway that the prosecutor, Beth Silverman, was, quote, very pushy as to why he didn't call the police. He said Morgan Roth said he responded by saying it wasn't his responsibility to call the police, and his job was just simply to make sure that David's tour kept going. TMZ says grand juries typically do what prosecutors want, in no small part because the target, in this case David, has no right to present a defense. So it's not like a real trial where you have the Sixth Amendment right to defend yourself or anything like that. Although I do believe the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination still does apply here. Certain of your rights, like the Sixth Amendment right for your lawyer to be in the room and stuff, doesn't apply. So it's not like a trial. And the reason is because it's not to convict you. It's just to, do we have enough? The prosecutors are supposed to be showing, do we have enough information? Have we presented enough information to move forward with charges? And in this case, because it's murmur and it's high profile, it's a case of significant public importance. Not TMZ giving me a virus. Okay. There was also talk in the courtroom hallway. The grand jury could hear witnesses in February. So don't expect a quick indictment. So what TMZ is saying is we're getting word from, chatter around the courthouse that David is going to get indicted. Not only is David going to get indicted, this is the grand jury that's going to do it. Apparently, we got the wrong information earlier that it was just an investigative grand jury, or maybe it was. And maybe now they've convened a real grand jury. I don't know. It's all supposed to be very, very secret whenever there's grand jury stuff going on. I don't know how open these are to the public in general, but especially on a state by state case basis. So I really don't know. Really have no idea how the grand jury process is supposed to work normally. And then TMZ has their little special sources in there, but they're saying, yeah, it looks like maybe, you know, from the talk they're hearing from the courthouse and the courtroom hallway, it's apparently, you know, looking like maybe somebody's going to get indicted. Maybe it's going to be David, but they also were chattering about having witnesses testifying in February. Okay. It's December right now. So that'll be more than a month away. So they're saying, you know, David's probably getting indicted, but don't expect anything soon. Now, TMZ has been right about things in this case. TMZ has also said things that haven't come true in this case. And they have said things that have been correct and also things that have not come true in other cases. So take everything they say with a grain of salt, but I did want to read that article to y'all. Let me see what else has happened here. Okay, we have some more David news here. This is also from TMZ, which again, take with a grain of salt because they have said exclusive things before and they turn out to be true in this case. So I do want to show it to y'all if they're saying it. But at the same time, they've said things in other cases and maybe this one too that have not necessarily been turned out to be true. So I don't know, you know what I mean? But this was a tweet that they tweeted yesterday. David's song quietly pulled from Madden amid Celeste Rivas death investigation. It's a TMZ article, so I'm going to click on it. David's song scrubbed from Madden amid Celeste Rivas death investigation. Another exclusive that TMZ has. One of the biggest sports video game franchises in the world is seemingly distancing itself from David as the Celeste Rivas death investigation continues, with David's song getting quietly pulled from Madden NFL 26. Now, why are they saying that it is being quietly pulled is beyond me, because I'm reading an article about a internationally syndicated article. I don't know how quiet it could possibly be. And this came out actually today. I said yesterday earlier, but it came out on December the 30th. That's today. Like a few hours, like 3 hours ago. One of the biggest sports video game franchises in the world is seemingly distancing itself from David as the Celeste Rivas death investigation continues, with the singer's song getting quietly pulled from Madden NFL 26. The controversial artist's What Are You Waiting For was initially part of the popular football game soundtrack when it was released back in August. And it was sandwiched between BIA and Alex Warren on the playlist. But now it's nowhere to be found. The exact reason is unclear, but given what's been going on lately, it's fair to assume EA Sports, it's in the game, wanted to distance itself from David. Celeste's body was discovered inside a Tesla that was towed to an impound lot. After it was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, it was later revealed the car belonged to David. As TMZ previously reported, law enforcement sources told them last month that LAPD views the singer as a suspect in Celeste's passing. While there is no paperwork classifying him as a suspect, one of our sources said investigators are looking at him as a suspect. A grand jury was convened last month as well. So I think it was mid-November, the grand jury was convened. And TMZ said, we're told they have been hearing witnesses and will vote on indictments. Okay, so that's what they're told. They have been hearing witnesses and they will vote on indictments. Monday, TMZ says, that was yesterday, our sources told us a grand jury, which convened in November, is likely to indict David in the murder case. David also worked with Fortnite in the past, creating the official 2025 anthem, Locked and Loaded. Oh. I mean, now, considering what he's going through, I'm not sure that was the best title for the anthem, the Locked and Loaded song. We have yet to hear from the 20-year-old singer himself on the matter, which is astonishing in and of itself. I actually got to say, I got to give a little bit of props or whatever you want to call it to David himself for just being able to be quiet this damn long. I mean, not a peep, not a sighting one. Okay. So now we have more David news. I just want to kind of roll right through here. We have a lot to cover today. Also, I don't even know if I covered this. I don't even know if I put it in the thing down below, but we have some REINER updates as well. So this is more David news. This is from News Nation. I am going to turn on the reader view. It's just so difficult to deal with all of these pop-up ads that show up like all over it and blinking and flashing. So, okay. Look at the headline here. Chainsaw found inside home rented by David, according to private investigator, and that would be Steve Fisher. Private investigator Steve Fisher revealed an unused chainsaw was also found inside the Hollywood Hills home rented by David. It comes 2 weeks after Steve Fisher said a burn cage was also inside the California home where the singer, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, was living. Steve Fisher said it remained unopened as well. That was the incinerator, burn cage, whatever you want to call it. On Monday, TMZ reported David is likely to be indicted excuse me, in connection to the murmur of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose dismembered remains were found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to David on September 8th. There's no purpose for a chainsaw to be at this rental house, said Steve Fisher in an interview. They're certainly not in charge of, trimming the trees or anything. Now, Steve Fisher was hired by the owner of the home where David was staying. Steve said it still had the protective shield over the chain itself. There it is with a burn cage. You gotta wonder what his plan was. Well, also, you gotta wonder why Steve Fisher didn't bother telling us this information until December 30th. He told us about that burn cage 2 weeks ago. Now he's just trickling out some more information about a chainsaw. You could have led with that. On the alternative, the counter argument to this would be owning a chainsaw is not illegal. Having an unused burn cage is not illegal, and it doesn't necessarily in and of itself point to any crime at all. But what Steve Fisher is trying to say is you have to take that into the context of the whole situation. There was a dead child found in David's car, so let's not, forget that. And all the other information that Steve Fisher definitely knows that we don't. But he said, much like the burn cage, much like the incinerator cage, this particular item, which is a chainsaw, also doesn't appear to have been used. There was a protective covering over it, protective shield over the chain. But there it was with the burn cage. He said, you got to wonder what the plan was. And I do wonder what this plan was. I certainly do. Questions have swirled about David's relationship with Celeste, with some pointing to purported matching tattoos, song titles, and comments from friends. No arrests have been made in this case. Okay, so breaking news as of yesterday, there was a chainsaw. Also, not only was there a burn cage, not only all the other new little things we find here and there, trickle, but now we also have chainsaw. But again, we don't know who bought the chainsaw. We don't know where the chainsaw came from. We don't know who the chainsaw belonged to. We don't know if David had anything to do with the chainsaw. There's all these things we don't know. Now, one could be forgiven for assuming David bought the chainsaw and was going to do some untoward activities with the chainsaw, but I don't know. We just don't know. Okay. The other thing I think was the Madden deal. Okay, so those were the David updates. So now I want to move to the next topic at hand, which is ADAM22 16 Grand Mason's diss track. Okay, we're gonna watch the diss track, but we're gonna do so through WIG TV's reaction himself, because he does put the song right up front and he says some stuff that I think is funny. So I did link this video down below. Okay, just pulling it up. Okay. Okay, so here is the video right here. Adam22 completely disrespects 4Extra and the Rollin 40s. Okay, look, listen. Here's my disclaimer here. I actually don't care at all about Adam22 16 Gram Mason's beef with anybody, really. I just personally don't appreciate him, and maybe I'm getting a little bit of enjoyment. Maybe it's bad. Maybe I'm evil. Maybe I'm a bad person, but I might be getting a little bit of enjoyment out of just watching this man, do humiliation ritual after humiliation ritual and the downfall of him. I mean, I'm not contributing to it in any way, but he did. Oh, is Rabbit here? Oh, y'all came from Rabbits? Yes, I did learn cursive first. I learned cursive handwriting before I learned penmanship. I learned cursive. Actually, I never learned print. I never learned from a teacher like how to write print letters. I learned only cursive, and then I just kind of reverse engineered print. Okay, so okay, so just for y'all, shout out to the rabbits. Shout out to the rabbits in the chat. So just for y'all to have somewhat of some type of context, Adam22 16 Grand Mason, who you probably know who that is at least, he's had various characters, cast and crew on his show over the years, one including Lima Yevrimovich, but also, other people, Whack 100, Sharp the Pin, all these different people, whatever. One of the people he's had on the show is a person by the name of, or by the, the code name, street nickname, I'll say nickname of 4Extra. I do not know 4Extra from Adam. I do not know 4Extra from Adam. I do not know this man. I have not heard of this man until his dealings with the No Jumper universe. But what had ended up happening was there was some kind of incident where 4Extra got into a I don't know, some type of accident, some type of altercation with an explosive, a firework. I don't even actually know. Okay. But I was gonna say shout out to him. I don't know this man. I ain't shouting him out. But condolences, I should say, to him, because he got real hurt. He got very hurt in this inexplicable explosion accident, okay, recently. And some or all of his fingers on one of his hand came off, okay? And that's sad. I'm not making fun of that in any way. But apparently this guy 4Extra was friends with Adam22 16 Grand Mason, or friendly with him, at least acquaintances with him. And then Adam22 16 Grand Mason goes on his podcast with the other partners, and they're all sitting around and kiki-hee-heeing over 4Extra's hand injury. Okay, so this is where this drama starts. All right, so 4Extra also was very injured. Like, it was a serious injury. He lost appendages, or phalanges, one might say. And not only did he lose phalanges, but he said he needed a blood transfusion. Now, apparently something else was going on too. Like, Adam22 16 Grand Mason kind of like made it another party foul, we'll say, another no-no, another violation of the bro code or whatever, by kind of seemingly maybe announcing the hospital where 4Extra was at. It might be getting my stories mixed up. This might be a different story than 4Extra. But basically that pretty much created a little bit of beef between the two. And then it's been pretty much escalating ever since. And they, of course, can't do anything to their own. They got to drag us into it. All right. So none of this was about to cross my desk, really, to bring it to y'all's attention until there was an Adam22 16 Grand Mason diss track. And I felt like I really needed to bring this to y'all's attention. And the reason is because it's an issue of public importance. Okay. This man was given, and this just shows you how bad the nepotism is out here. This man was given an imprint on the Atlantic Records, Atlantic label. Like, he was basically given like a little tiny label. Now, that has since been rescinded, thankfully. But he had he had responsibility for recruiting and developing record label talent for Atlantic. Okay. And so that would lead you. Oh, also, he calls himself, or his podcast, the coolest podcast in the world and the #1 hip hop podcast. He calls himself a king of hip hop media. Okay. So saying and calling yourself stuff like that, I'm not saying you got to come out here and rap. Okay. I'm not saying you got to come out here and make a hip hop song. You don't have to make a beat. You don't have to be a producer. You don't have to. But if you are going to come out here calling yourself a king of hip hop media, you're going to call yourself the best #1 hip hop podcast in the world, the coolest podcast in the world, the hip hop this and that, then you're going to open your mouth. If you're going to open your mouth and actually try to rap a song, it better be at least mediocre. It better be at least mediocre. I mean, spoiler alert, it ain't. It ain't even mediocre, okay? It's so offensive. And by offensive, I mean just because it's so bad. It's so bad, it hurt my ears. And now I got to bring it to y'all's attention because this man is out here critiquing other people's songs, critiquing other people's raps. And I'm not even gonna hold you. Let's just get started right here, right now. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. Wait, yeah, I want to turn it on 1.25. Turn on 1.25 times the speed for now, but we may, go faster, go slower as we move along. I do have this particular video linked in the description box down below. 16 hours ago. This is WIGTV, WIG TV. Okay, let's go.
It wouldn't feel like summer without a colorful fireworks display. However,
okay,
the thrill
this
of
is
fireworks
it.
can
Wait.
be dangerous. Here are the top 10 fireworks safety tips.
Okay, so we're doing a full analysis too. If y'all want to hear the full song, then you can go, look it up online or something. But this right here is like commentary. That's why I can play it over here because I'm doing commentary. So I'm not gonna be playing the whole thing all the way through. This is like copyright protected. Hold on, let me put my little copyright overlay up. This is fair use under the United States Copyright Act, Section 107. This is commentary and opinion on a matter of public importance and public concern and public safety. Okay. So he starts out the video, the music video, by talking about fireworks safety, starting out a little poking fun at this 4 extra guy because he lost his fingers, I guess, in a fireworks safety issue.
Here are the top 10 fireworks safety tips to follow.
You say you in the field for 22, the gardener. You should have took the safer route and got yourself a sparkler. You think that I was Jesus, keep that tool like I'm a carpenter. What? She could be Sabrina Carpenter. I'd still fart on her. You ain't.
No, we're not going to rhyme carpenter with carpenter. Okay, first of all, bars, I'm going to say 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10, and that's being generous. And flow, 0. 0 out of 10. I mean, it's like not syncopated. It's right there on the beat, except it's a little off the beat because he can't find the beat. Okay. He got that Grand Mason disease like his daddy got. Where he can't move his mouth fast and then he's rhyming carpenter with carpenter. Please, let's read the transcript. And then, of course, he's going to fart on people. Well, I don't know why he's got to fart on somebody. That's nasty. That's very gross. I rebuke. Here are the top 10 fireworks tips. Okay, so you say you in the field from 22. The gardener. I don't get it. I don't get it. You should have took the safer route and got yourself a sparkler, he says. Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, that's why he got 3 out of 10. Because, all right, I get it. Okay, haha, it's just a sparkler. All right. Keep that tool like I'm a carpenter. What is he trying to say? He has a gun? Is that what? Oh, sparkler. He's like, oh, what should I rhyme with sparkler? Carpenter. And then what can I rhyme with carpenter? Oh, carpenter again. It's weak. It's weak. Let's see how if it gets better. It don't.
You should have took the safer route and got yourself a sparkler. You think that I was Jesus, keep that tool like I'm a carpenter. What? She could be Sabrina Carpenter. I'd still fart on her. You ain't drinking.
So first off, your bar's already hella weak, bro.
Weak.
What are you talking? The cadence hella weak. It's
Weak.
rhythmless hella
No
shit,
rhythm.
bro.
Period.
You need some spunk and charisma. You need something, bro.
A good point. Good point, my cousin over there at WIGTV. He said you need some spunk and charisma. Right. It's like it's like it's got a dampener on it. It's like it's something it does have no charisma. The man has no charisma, but he does have nerve. I'll tell you that. He does have nerve.
Since he got nerfed, I think that something's up. He's moving like a club. I promise you the fireworks in my hand, it's finna bust. You can't even ball your fist. How you finna rep the glove? Shots my folks on Vernon Ave. Yeah, they known to set trip. But last time you was in the county, what's for beating on your... Put a carrot in a man's ass. I think you...
Bro, you act like so I'm sure you...
Okay, look, listen. Hold on. Let me take this off my face. Woo. Okay. So as y'all know, I mean, when the stuff comes, not everything comes across my desk, I'm making a video about it. Okay. Again, I don't really know about the beef, truly, really that much about the beef between ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason and 4 Extra. And truly, like, I feel bad that 4 Extra lost his fingers. That's bad. But why is Adam, like, I feel like Adam's doing fighting words. Like, he's kind of like been on a fighting words trip lately. Like, first he called Bunchy B dirty. And what else did he call him? Weird. Get your weird hand away from me, or whatever he did. And kicked him across the room or whatever he did. So I'm like, hold on, that's kind of like fighting words. Like, what do you mean? Get your dirty hand off me. And then now he's out here like, and it's like, it's not like, I bet ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason's going to try to act like this is a joke. He's going to say it's a joke. Like how Point and Shoot, shout out to the cousin Point and Shoot. Like how Point and Shoot does stuff as a joke. Like he does these little joke parody like songs. Like he'll like basically like act like he's Lush. And he will do a rap song, and it's like usually pretty good. It's usually pretty good. It's usually pretty funny. And it demonstrates, in my opinion, to me, from what it's worth, from my opinion, that Point and Shoot has some idea of like cadence and rhythm. And he has some idea of like how a beat is supposed to flow. And he has like a flow to speak of. He's not like trying to go right on the beat, but still somehow missing the beat. I don't think this is like joke. This seems like fighting words. And like half the stuff he's saying, I'm going to just tell y'all, I really don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Okay. Like I do think that word, I'm not even going to say it because it might be something bad, but I think that word that he called, they said CLUCK. I think that's like a word you're not supposed to be saying without expecting something to come back on you. And then guess what else? He, at the end of this, he's like, or at some point in this whole beef, ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason saying he wants to fight. ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason is saying he wants to fight 4 Extra. The man who has just got his 4 fingers blown off. Like, hold on, please. He's kicking Munchie B, a blind man, across the room. Okay. Or across the back of the wall or whatever with the wind in his chair, kicking his chair. And then now he wants to fight a man with only 6 fingers. Oh, it's like a crackhead, they saying it's you can so it's allowed, he can call him that. I don't know. I say all this to say I do not condone or support anything ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason is doing at all. Actually, I condemn it. Okay.
Being overly aggressive over there at the crib. You talking about you telling people personal business? I didn't know the last time you went to jail was for domestic violence. What's your problem, bro? You know, you be doing, I wasn't even gonna react to this shit, bro, because it was ass, bro. And I know
Right.
you just looking for some attention, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why. It's sad, bro, that they really be up there lying to you, bro, just to keep their job or whatever, like to not make you mad or whatever, bro. I would have kept it 100 with you, like, yeah, go ahead and go back to the drawing board. That shit. Matter of fact, just give up.
ADAM22, 16 Gray Mason is completely surrounded by sycophants. Okay. This is like, butt kissers. Well, yes, men. That's a sycophant. Okay. He's surrounded by sycophants. And it is kind of like starting to make there be like a certain view of a certain type of people. Like it used to be, and still is to some extent, people from all over the whole country would kind of like have a certain reverence and respect for so-called West Coast gang members. You know, people would be, oh, I don't want to mess with them. Oh, I don't want to mess with them. Well, now it's like Adam's kicking them across the room and challenging them to duels and fades in the boxing ring. And I mean, Adam2216 Gray Mason is out here doing all that, and they're just basically like letting him do it. And he's got gang members on his show. So it's kind of starting to create a certain image of like, oh, was that, you know, real, or is it just like they're so enamored with Adam2216 Gray Mason of Nashua that they just like won't, these guys that he's particularly surrounded with just won't tell him nothing? I mean, like all of this stuff is stuff I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care because I know one thing for sure and two things for certain is that I don't have any beef with any gang member at all. In fact, and indeed, if they know about me at all, they probably like me because that's probably my cousin or something, but I don't condone any of that activity. That being said, Adam2216 Gray Mason seems to be getting away with a lot. And I don't condone anything bad happening to Adam2216 Gray Mason, except maybe legal consequences for his actions if it ever comes to that or something. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's maybe like beef. Should have hired Point and Shoot to write the lyrics and mix the audio and rap. Should have hired him to do it all of it, but he wouldn't do it. Shout out to Kels on Earth, member for 8 months. Thanks so much, Sour Girl, for the $4.99 super chat. Happy New Year. I worked third and my company canceled work. Okay. So I'm off for 4 days. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Lena, come get your man. I know. Why is Adam2216 Gray Mason trying to fight people with 4 fingers missing? Something's weird. And he wants to get all loud with the blind people.
Ass, bro.
You making LA look bad with them smoke shop fits. Hey, I just hit the shawarma truck with my llama tuck. I fell off my bike 1,000 times, ain't lose an arm or none. Ain't like that you switched on me, you even turn on Spody face. You the reason gangbangers should never ever own grenades. I was trying to take you. Never ever own grenades.
Yeah, that was bad. I had to pause it right there too. Okay, if you're gonna do a rap, you gotta go full character, or you just have to be your full true self. Okay. This is kind of a half in, half out. It's like a half-assed. And there is a certain je ne sais quoi. That is to say, a certain quality of work that has to exist to make something obviously a parody or a satire. If you don't have that little extra lanyap, if you don't have that little extra something, like I believe Point and Shoot does have, I also have it. When I'm doing little raps, little diss tracks, little this, that's, it's obvious whenever I'm like kind of playing, you know, I ain't even trying. I don't need no beat when the beat got me. I'm not really trying. It's effort. There's a certain effortlessness about it. Adam is really somehow straddling the line between, is he serious or is he joking? Such that I think he's serious. I think he's serious, but he's doing it such a bad job. He's not fully committed. So then what you get is like, never ever have a, like, what is this? What in tarnation? If you're going to go full white boy, you got to stay in that. What do you mean? You're just, never, ever, all of a sudden? Oh no, we got to go back. What is that? Never, ever have grenade. And then the flow is, again, it's not exactly syncopated, but it's also not on the beat. So it's just confused. It's actually so discordant. It kind of messes with my electromagnetic field. If you put a 1 in the chat, if you know what I mean, like where it's kind of just like nails on a chalkboard, like it gives me a physical response. Never, ever have grenade. What are you doing?
Off my bike 1,000 times, ain't lose an arm or none. Ain't like that you switched on me, you even turn on Spody face. You the reason gangbangers should never ever own grenades. I was trying to take you. Never ever own grenades.
Who did the ad lib? Boom. Who did that diabolical ad lib? Boo. No. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's almost funny. Like, it's almost satire, but like he's trying a little too hard. Like, he needs to be like, I can't even do it. That's such a bad lyric. I'm trying to make it work. You know, like, You're the reason gangbangers should never ever own grenades is a weak lyric. There's nothing really intellectually exciting about it. Who should own a grenade then? You know, like nobody should actually. You're the main reason should never own grenades. Like you should have went full firecracker. You should have called him like you should have called him like smoke bomb. You should have said something like, oh, here's one. Here's one. I don't know. Maybe they don't call it this in LA. The little lighters, the little sticks that you light a firework with is called a punk. That's what they call it where I'm from. They call it a punk. Do you have a punk? That would have been a nice little double entendre. You might as well go full punk. You know what I mean? Like you should have got the, you know, maybe they don't call it that. Put it 2 in the chat. Put it 2 in the chat if y'all call it a punk. It's like, it looks like an incense burner, but it's how you light a firework. Okay. Yeah. See, we could have went double entendre. We could have went, but you went never ever on grenade. It's like almost like a cheerleader, like defense, fight back, never ever own grenade. Defense, that's the flow to me. Like, yeah, Washington State says it punk too. So see, he could have went punk. He could have there's so much he could have done if his frontal lobe actually functioned. Poor thing, bless his heart.
Just hella offbeat and just weird. How do you it is crazy, bro. This dude got a music review stream where he reviews somebody's music. How you gonna review music and you just ass, bro? You don't know what good music is. You just know what others say.
Oh no.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Out the trenches, keep you out the feds. When I said I'd be a helping hand, this wasn't what I meant. Munchie B can see that he's retarded. That shit takes some talent. Couldn't read the warning label, so he took it as a challenge. How do pay your manager when both of y'all illiterate? The backshots made the room smell like pupusas when I hit that shit.
How y'all pay the manager when both of y'all illiterate? What does paying somebody have to do with reading? I'm about to start telling everybody I'm illiterate just so I don't have to pay stuff. Who's the manager? How are you going to be in a contract with somebody and then calling me illiterate? Well, now you're admitting, you know, they can't read. I don't think these people are illiterate, by the way. I think he's just insulting them. But like, if somebody's illiterate, you shouldn't have entered into a contract with them for broadcasting if they can't read. Maybe it's because of his... Maybe he has some beef with the manager. What is paying your manager? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Now you're the first person that I call when I hit a lick, because he won't leave no evidence.
This beat rhythm.
Sorry, cousin. I'm going to let you finish, but why he had to say first person? He could have said first one. Like, why? You the first one I call. First person I call when I don't hit it. It's almost like, you know, whenever you got to sit and read one paragraph out of the biology book and then sit down, and it's like, you know, you're waiting the whole class for it to get to your turn and you got to stand up and read and you got to sit down, but there's always them 2 guys in class and bless their hearts, you know, nothing against them, but they take like the longest to read, and it's like 5th grade, 4th grade, and it's like, you should be able to read this by now, but we got to sit here for 20 minutes while they sound out every word. That's how Adam raps. That's how I feel when Adam is rapping. It's like, can you spit it out? Can you spit it out?
Flow, this cadence, bro, is not it.
Not it.
It just won't be ever it. You
Never.
Know what I'm saying?
It is
and then
irredeemable.
you still playing with Munchie, bro. Yeah, shit, hella funny, bro. He can't even like. So that's how you know, bro. Like the fact that he keeps like they made clips. Let me go through this shit. The fact that they made clips the night as soon as this shit happened, right? When he put hands and feet on Munchie B, right?
And
feet. The fact that they were so anxious to get those clips up, like it was just a big moment, tells me, bro, the same thing him putting this clip in this video tell me, right? You hella juiced about that. You feel like you got one off on the culture, or at least on blood. You know what I'm saying? You the shit that you be doing, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like But at this point, I think he know how far to go, bro, because these niggas be up there so grateful, bro, for a fucking opportunity, bro. They be so grateful, bro, where it just now look, you know, bro. I bet 4Extra could never imagine, bro, giving this nigga them real hugs, that real love, that he was gonna act like this, bro, at some point. You know what I'm saying? Calling the motherfucker bitches, talking about his personal life with his girl. I ain't never, but I don't agree with that shit though. Putting hands on women, but still, like, you act like you, bro.
Because he ain't got no fingerprints. You already ducking my fade.
That was like one, I think, like maybe possible little like one bar, you know, something about you ain't got no fingerprints. At least it's ain't got no. And he wasn't like, he is in lack of. Lupe is the manager. Shout out to him. But 4Extra is illiterate. Lupe isn't. I seen her read live chats. I don't know who that is. She's a sweet Spanish lady named Lupe. Okay. Okay. Clearly, Shelly said this has to be a joke. I always knew that man wasn't right, but this is over the top embarrassing. It's trying to make sense of the senseless. It's so true. It's so true. We're stuck here in hell with these clowns. I mean, it's what else we have to do, you know? What's sad is he thought it was good enough to share. I think he all just kind of wants, I think he wants all of us to kind of pay attention to it. And it's like, you know, I fell for it, girl, because wow, we need to talk. We need to talk about this. It is embarrassing. Poor thing. Poor thing.
You know what I'm saying? Calling the motherfucker bitches, talking about his personal life with his girl. I ain't never, but I don't agree with that shit though. Putting hands on women, but still, like, you act like you, bruh.
Because he ain't got no fingerprints. You already ducking my fade. I told you I need that fade. You gonna duck the...
Okay, so for the unaware, ducking my fade means Adam offered or challenged 4Extra to fight him. Again, 4Extra, who's just recently, very recently lost 4 of his fingers. Okay. So Adam wants to go in a boxing ring fight with him. And ducking his fade is him saying, like, you're like 4Extra not like trying to not, he's ducking it, right? He's trying not to get into the ring. Like, what? Please. He's trying to fight the man with four missing fingers.
I just covered up my...
Get in the booth, bitch. So you remember when Milk was punching that punching bag, bro? That's when he was when he was shadow boxing. That's what that reminded. We bro. You like, you know, that's a couple of people that's trying to really, you know, they want to take you up on that offer, bro. But
a bitch's face like Sharia law. 4Extra dumb as you think his pee stored in his balls. Call Dub, I need that Fanta in me. No stew, boy. The squirrels on Vernon and have you in your fingers like some chew toys. I took Flacco on a skip, but nah, I ain't.
Leave the squirrels out of this, okay? The squirrels are using your fingers as a chew toy is the best. I mean, look at the still shot. Also, look at WIGTV's face. My sentiments exactly. Oh, you just can't even without grimacing. Look at Adam22 16 Gray Mason's face. He is in no condition. People like that need to be locked up because they're sick in the effing head. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Tyler Smack wasn't born like that. He's smoking crack, boy. I got hot lead for hot yellow because I'm a hot boy. 4Extra.
You ain't probably never even seen no crack, mother boy. What is wrong with you, dude? You ain't never seen no crack. You the most you seen is little fentanyl and blues and shit like that, bro. You and it's hella weird how you say
they got him stuttering.
Your fingers off. The rats are probably smoking on the corner with their finger off. Like you know you about to say some hot shit. That shit ain't no hot shit.
No, it's
shit,
cold. It
is hot shit, matter of fact. It's hot ass, bro. Hot garbage.
Needs to be.
In fact, he looking like Dan Aykroyd. That's right. You looking like Dan Aykroyd, bitch. You turned down my fade. Now you turning down a rap battle? Tell Runner get to work. You know you can't rap like me. Hey, if he rhymes more than 2 words together, then you know he
One thing I will say. Obviously, I inspired some parts of this song. Like, obviously, Adam22 16 Gray Mason is a Gorianna music fan. First of all, the squirrels acting up. chewing on the, I mean, nobody was singing songs about squirrels till me. Okay. So I'll say that. And then he just said, you ain't right. Like, that's my outro of Squirrel acting up. They ain't right. That's my outro. He's obviously inspired by me. That being said, I will agree with him on one point. He said, you know, you can't rap like me. And that is the truth. Even if I tried, even if I really tried, I wouldn't be able to make it down to that level of absolute talentlessness. I would not be able to make it down that low. It would start to get to where it's like, all right, I'm trying real hard for it to be bad, but like it would still like low key be iconic and really good. I like kind of just want this beat so I could just make my own little diss track. And I think that's the point. I think that might be what they're angling for, or what he is angling for. Like maybe like get everybody to make diss tracks like based on his and like get views on that. Like he's obviously been trying to pivot. He's obviously broke. No Jumper's going broke or bankrupt or whatever. Like I kind of like, I've been wanting to do a diss track. I've been wanting to do an ADAM22 16 Gray Mason diss track. I actually asked my cousin Tufstino to do one with me. Jury's out on if we're gonna actually do that or not. I don't know if he wants to do a diss track against, you know, like I don't want to drag him into the diss track if he don't want to do it. But like I want to do a diss track. I want to do a diss track against ADAM22 16 Gray Mason. I could do it. I want to set it as a challenge. I want to live stream myself or record myself actually like in the process of like start to finish how long it takes me. I guarantee you within 2 hours, I could have a full entire song and I will not have to use ChatGPT. I will not have to use ChatGPT. I won't even have to use, I could do it without using a electronic. I could do a piece of paper and a pen. And I promise you, I was going to say 1 hour. I'm gonna give myself 2. Within 2 hours, I could have a fully realized ready to go to the booth. And I could do that with any song. So with a ADAM22 16 Gray Mason, I think I could actually be ready to go to the booth in about 45 minutes. Give me that track. I can make one just as long as his and I will win. It will be unanimous. Every judge will say mine is better, except maybe people that work for him. Probably his baby mama. Even Lena the Plug is probably going to have to admit mine is better. But I actually kind of think that's me falling into what he wants. Like, I think that's what he wants. Definitely I'll be calling him dirty. I will definitely be calling him dirty in that one. I will be calling him dirty, kangaroo ass, leg ass, kicking blind people ass, head. Like I'm going to be saying things like this. Perhaps the word speaker, tweaker, sneaker, something like that's going to come up. So it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing for me to come up with. I got bars on bars. I got bars on bars. I got bars. I got so much vocabulary that it's easy to just rhyme stuff. Like I know y'all heard me rhyme challenger and scavenger. Okay. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. ADAM22 16 Gray Mason would be lost. He would have stars and birds flying around his head. Like, what do I rhyme with challenger? What do I rhyme with challenger? Oh, I could rhyme challenger. No, scavenger. Who thinks of that? Me. I learned from the best. My cousin Lil Wayne. Okay. Put some respect on his name. Best to ever do it. Okay. So I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. That's for sure. That's for sure. And if anybody's placing bets, I will not get in a ring. I will not get in a ring with nobody, but I will rap battle anybody and I'll probably be able to do it faster. I'll probably be able to come up with it faster. I will rap battle anybody. If I don't like you, if I like you, I'm not rap battling you. Maybe like I'll do a collab. I'll jump on a trial, but I'll be a feature on a track or something, but I'm not going to rap battle somebody. I don't like that. I don't like sparring with people I like. I don't even really like playing like video game, like what's it called? Like board games where like, you know, it's competitive. Like I don't like that with people I like. But ADAM22 16 Gray Mason, I'll rap battle him. I sure will. And if y'all are taking bets, again, like I said, I'm not getting in a ring with nobody. And if me and ADAM22 16 Gray Mason got in a ring, he would win for sure. But maybe not. I mean, I don't know. He does seem to be pretty slow. I might be able to just like run in circles away from him. But what I will say is if you're going to put money on somebody to win the rap battle, put it on me. I'll say that.
For extra. Come on now. I'm just a white boy.
That's true. And I am sick and tired of ADAM22 16 Gray Mason appropriating my culture. This is cultural appropriation that he is putting on a camouflage hoodie. He ain't about to go hunt nothing. He ain't going to the woods. He probably don't have a rifle. So what's he doing appropriating my culture? The rednecks did not consent. The rednecks, the hillbillies, all of that, the Cajuns, none of us consented. None of us consented. Nope. No. I did not consent to him appropriating my culture, wearing he ain't about to go hunt nothing. Why is he wearing this outfit? Why? Stop. I'm about sick of it. He ain't finna go hunt nothing. Hold on. Then he gets into it with Adam, with Whack. Where is it? Let me find that, the last.
That bad for, like, it's not that big of a deal. They words like a bitch and all that. He upset. He mad like a white girl type shit, like a Karen. But it just be like, but there you wouldn't call
I'm
him.
trying to find his. Here we go. Oh, it's a real tree.
Blood, you know.
Correction. Come on now. I'm just a white boy.
What is he doing? Why is he standing like that in the middle of the street or the sidewalk? And again, I mean, look at this. This is my face too. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Blood, you know, I ain't gonna, you know, you got the fit lean down pat.
Yeah, he got the lean down.
You probably you got that master, brother. You know what I'm saying? But rapping, just give it up. It hurts my ears.
It hurts mine too.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, bro. You don't got gas at all.
None.
You don't got
out of gas.
rhythm. You just don't.
He don't got gas. He don't got fumes. He don't got gas. He don't got fumes. Call up Taco Bell. This man needs some gas. See, that's funny. That's funny. Because you would think gas from the gas station, right? But I hit you with the irony because I said Taco Bell. But it's ambiguity because that's gas too. And it's kind of funny to think about Adam having gas. You see how like that just comes so naturally to me. ADAM22 16 Gray Mason, it doesn't come naturally and it's very obvious. It's like no rhythm, no talent, no comedy. It's barely entertaining. The only reason it's entertaining is because it's just funny to watch him fall off like this.
Rap battle 2, bitch. Like, who you calling a but there you wouldn't call him fake. See, and that's the thing. Certain people, right? When certain people go up there, like the members or whatever, how you carry it a certain way on the internet. Certain things is gonna be expected of you. Not when they feet on your chair, not little Red Riding Hood 22 calling you out your name and shit. Like it ain't that bad for, like, it's not that big of a deal. They words like a bitch and all that shit. Like, okay, bro, you and then the little you say it sound like a white girl, so it don't really be offensive. Like, it's like, all right, he upset.
Listen,
mad like a white girl.
Listen, I will agree with you. Never ever have a grenade. Like it is a little Caucasian mountains or Caucasus Mountains-esque. Okay, it's a bit Anglo-Saxon, we'll say. But I'm glad to know that white girls can say whatever we want and it's not offensive. I didn't know that till my cousin just said it, but he said Adam can't really hurt somebody's feelings because he sounds like a white girl. And I said it down here. Look, I can confirm what my cousin said. ADAM22 16 Gray Mason does sound like a white girl. Okay.
Karen, but
Karen.
It just be like, all right, I can see him trying to, you know, they say words is just words, right? But, you know, the intent is important too. That's the thing about certain people, bro. That's why I say with this dude, you gotta listen, watch what he do. Don't listen to what he tell you. Because he sit there and say, oh, dude, I was just doing a song. I didn't mean any disrespect by it. No, nigga, right. I can hear how the way you was trying to say it. Like, you just same shit with the cheer, with Kick and Munchie. You try to act like, oh,
right. And it's like, it's so bad that he could, you know, plausibly just deny that he was still like, I was obviously joking. It's like, I don't know if you were, though. Maybe you just don't got no talent. And it's easy now to just be like, oh, haha, just kidding. I was just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Very strange. Okay, very strange. The Mermaiden, it wasn't. Wait, hold on. Miss Leo Highness, it wasn't the lyrics that were Anglo-Saxon so much as the presentation. Like, it's just the way that he said it. Never ever have grenade. It's like, wait, that was a bit too syllabic for it to be, I'll say, a person of color. It was a bit too syllabic. Like it was almost like, I don't know. I'm trying to not say any words that are like necessarily associated with like negative, but like it's just something about like the way that the words fell almost exactly on each beat. Like beats have like, but beat per minute, and some songs are slower, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and some are like double time 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some are like what it was called like a waltz 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But like where you place the words and where you emphasize the syllable on or next to the beat does something to the listener's brain. Either it hurts, it causes physical discomfort, or if you do it right and you have what's called rhythm, you can kind of just like, either you can learn it or you can just know you have an inherent sense of rhythm where it's like, all right, here's the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, where's the drums? If there's a drum, you got to find those. Where are those sitting? Okay, then you're like, all right, so got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can go a lot of places with that, but the easiest, most obvious place to go is, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, right? Like going on each exact beat, like, I don't want that, I do want that, I am stupid, ADAM22, right? Like that's the most obvious, but it's droning. It's too expected. So you're not really adding anything at all. But then Adam messes it up even more. He takes it a step further by making it discordant and not on the beat at all. Like it's like adjacent to the beat, but he's trying to be on the beat. And so what you end up with is just, no, it's not good. But it's so bad. And technically, and from a feelings, left brain, it's bad, right brain, it's bad. Sometimes things can be technically wrong and bad, but like something about it just sounds cool and good. Somebody could be off key. Like Whitney Houston used to do this. She would do what's called bending the note. So she would be just ever so slightly above or below than what she should have been singing technically, but like somehow the way she did it in the exact note she hit was beautiful, and like nobody's ever done it. So technically, like a professor at a PhD music school would say you need to go a little high, that's flat or that's sharp. But like it sounded good. It didn't shut up. Professor, be quiet. We're not getting that with Adam. Okay, this is genius, right? Like Whitney is a genius, so she can break the rules if she wants to, but I can guarantee she learned the rules before she broke them. ADAM22 16 Grand Mason, please hang up the rap career. It's over. It's over, and you're putting yourself and your family in danger, it seems like. That being said, I don't wish any harm to befall Adam. 2216 Grand Mason, he does have a First Amendment right to make a song. I think he's gonna act like it was a joke. I do. I do think he is. Wait, Steno's in here? Cream. I don't know if he's in here. Shout out to it's a vocal slide. Yeah. Kind of like that. That's true, Sour Girl. Nobody is out here picking their skin color, except I guess some people do after they're born. Like self-tanner and stuff. It's embarrassing. Okay, so I wanted to tell y'all about that. I did link WIGTV, Wig TV's video down below. Y'all can go watch the whole thing. He does get into a little back and forth that Adam had with Whack 100. Even Whack 100 said it was whack. Okay, even Whack 100 tried to warn Adam and say, you don't even need to put that out. It's starting, drama unnecessarily. And like, you don't even really know what you're getting into. Like you're using all these like words for like, that gang members are supposed to be using. Like, you're not really in it like that. You need to stay out of it or whatever. Well, it does not appear as though ADAM22 Grand Mason took or heeded Whack 100's advice. And so here we are. I mean, real quick, I rebuke. I rebuke. Hopefully my cousin Stino reacts to it. I don't know. Maybe he already did. I would love to see more people's reactions to that. It was so bad. It was so bad. I could go on. I could start the whole thing over and start again. But we have more things to talk about today. Let's see. Let me pull up my next thing here. Tyler Perry. I don't feel like talking about that. Oh shoot. Hold on. When I drag my screen too far over to the right or left, it like automatically expands. And I'm like, I didn't want that. That's not, no one asked for that. Okay. I was going to talk about Nick Reiner next. I don't actually think I have. Oh yeah. Okay. Here. Okay. So now I want to talk just for a few minutes about Nick Reiner because I only have a few things to say. And then we're going to move into the Tylor Chase situation. And I intentionally put this last because I was so fired up and worked up about it that I thought, like, let me just laugh at ADAM22 16 gram Mason of Nashua real quick before I get into this Tylor Chase thing because I am so livid. I am mad about it. Okay, so I think it worked. I do think I'm a little calmed down now. So before we get into that, I do have two updates. I did have three, but I don't have the link for one. So Nick Reiner, let's talk about these two updates. Here's one of them here. Somebody done called the paparazzi on Jake Reiner and called TMZ on Jake Reiner. Now, in my, I won't say experience because I don't have any first-hand experience. I'll say in my observations of how TMZ works, rolling up on people that are just like not actually really famous and nobody would really actually recognize them is usually they call on themselves. Now, sometimes you will have somebody like in the case of Britney Spears back in, 2007, all the way leading up to today, somebody will call, hey, so-and-so Britney Spears about to be at Westlake Cafe, this, that, the other, like go over there, send a photographer. She's going to be there. Or Britney just went into her hair appointment. She's going to be coming out, send somebody to take a picture. So I don't know who sent people to take pictures of Jake Reiner. But this is the type of thing that makes me mad. Okay. It aggravates me because why? Because here's TMZ sending people out to take pictures of these people. Okay. Pictures and then running articles about it. No, they're not making any efforts to conceal their face or anything. Saturday outing, there's a whole gallery. All right. Oh, look, they go into the shopping and whatever. I mean, I couldn't give a flying rat's behind what these people are doing. Okay. I mean, my heart does go out to the guy and I guess his wife. I feel bad that they lost a parent and a father-in-law. That I do feel bad. But why do I need to see pictures of him walking around? I don't. But here's what we'll get these stupid pictures. We'll get stupid pictures like this from TMZ. It'll be forced and shoved onto my timeline and your timeline. And then when we make a little video, make a little comment on the public picture, it's like, give the family some privacy. Okay, hold on. TMZ is outside these people's houses, taking pictures of their get-togethers, their family get-togethers, what people are wearing, what people are bringing in. But we're not allowed to talk about the public articles. It's very aggravating. It's very aggravating. Jake and Maria were photographed Saturday in Malibu, keeping things low-key as they visited several stores and stayed close while walking between shops. The outing comes just 2 weeks after Rob and Michelle were found unalive inside their home. Their deaths were ruled homicides, with the medical examiner saying they suffered multiple sharp force injuries described as occurring with a knife by another. The bodies were discovered by their daughter, Romy, she told police she believed her brother was dangerous. Nick was dangerous. He has been charged with his parents' murmurs. Sources said he will most likely enter an insanity plea. Despite the devastating loss, Jake appeared to be taking small steps toward normalcy. Okay, interesting. So, I did want to remind y'all that the medical examiner did put out but the medical examiner did complete the autopsy reports. The cause of death is listed on the death certificates. Those were released also again by TMZ. But look at this other update that I wanted to show y'all today. about the Rob Reiner situation. Oh, shoot. That's not the right thing. Okay, hold on. That's the Tyler Chase thing. Hold on. What was the keyword? Okay. This isn't the original thing I wanted, original source that I had to show y'all, but it did just come up first thing. So I'll just go with this, the Hollywood Reporter. Rob and Michelle Reiner's medical records sealed under court order. Okay. The LAPD, yet again, so we had this happen in the Celeste Rivas David case. Yet again, here they are again requesting that the medical examiner's records be blocked as they continue their homicide investigation. Wait a second. I thought this was a supposedly open and shut case. I thought this was a supposedly open and shut case. The Nick did it. He was an insane drug addict junkie, like what they were calling him on the news. He had been to rehab before, so he must be the killer. That's basically what they're trying to make us think. He had a long history of going to rehab, so he must be a murderer. He must have murdered both of his parents. The sister said he was dangerous, so he must be a murderer. Okay, fine. So open and shut. Fine. That's what they're trying to tell us. Must be open and shut. Let's go then. Oh, no. You can't see. You can't see the autopsy report. Again, medical examiners are publicly funded. They get paid from our tax dollars. They get paid from our money. We go to work, we pay taxes, and we pay the local medical examiner, the coroner's office, for the most part. Some municipalities have things set up different. They are public servants. They work a public office. And guess what else? Whenever the public government office has to run a report for somebody, then a lot of times, most of the time, that becomes a public record. And in LA and California, autopsy results with redactions of personal information, such as, certain specific things can be redacted. But these are public records. So in the David case, okay, fine. Maybe it's not an open and shut case. All right. Maybe it's not an open and shut case. Now, in that case, I have said too, because this is the same medical examiner's office. This is the same medical examiner's office who did Kim Porter's autopsy report, who did Michael Jackson's autopsy report, who did Aaron Carter's autopsy report. Okay. These are supposed to be public records. Hello. But for some reason, even though it's a supposedly open and shut case, they're even reporting he's going to plead guilty by reason of it, or not guilty by reason of insanity, but he's going to have a plea. He's going to take an insanity plea, meaning he's going to some type of plea agreement. Why can't we just see the autopsy results then? The death certificates are already made public. What is the LAPD trying to hide? What are they trying to hide? A court order sought by LAPD has blocked the release of any medical records related to the deaths of Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner. The LA County Medical Examiner's Office said it received the court order at 10:30 a.m. on Christmas Eve to place a security hold on any medical reports as the LAPD continues its homicide investigation, while the cause and manner of death were previously released on these cases. Due to the court order, the information is no longer available. So even information that already was made public, the court has allowed them to make it unpublic. And I'm getting sick and tired of these judges. We got to get rid of these judges. And what I mean by rid of, I mean out of the office of judge. Like, I don't mean get rid of. I'm not a violent person. I don't advocate for that. And if you do something like that, then you deserve to go to jail, prison. But what I mean by get rid of, I mean like get what? Hold on. Why every time the LAPD wants to get a security hold on something that's supposed to be a public record, the courts give it to them? These are the same courts that allowed and participated and were cooperative, co-conspirators, I would say, in my opinion, innocent until proven guilty in Britney Spears' sex trafficking. Okay, the same courts. LA. All right. I don't trust them. The cause and manner of death used to be public, but they just made that unpublic too. No other case information or records, including the medical examiner's report, can be released or posted to the website until further notice. That is crazy. Here's their statement. December 29th. Okay, so it says statement on medical examiner case numbers 2025-19480 and 2025-19481. Remember the last video I made on this, put a 3 in the chat if you do remember. The last video that I made on this, the last live stream I did on this, I said, oh, look, case number 80 and 81 are missing. You can't see their stuff. That's the most recent video I think I made on Sunday. It's too much hush hush. I'm sick and tired of living in a nanny state. Okay. I'm sick and tired of living in a nanny state. It's an open air freaking prison and they have clowns instead of prison guards. And that's where we live. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm gonna keep telling y'all how sick and tired of it I am until my last breath. December 29, 2025, on December 24th at 10:30 a.m., the County of Los Angeles Department of the Medical Examiner received a court order initiated by the LAPD to place a security hold on medical examiner case numbers 2025-19480 and 2025-19481, Robert and Michelle REINER. While the cause and manner of death were previously released on these cases, due to the court order, the information is no longer available to you, to me. No other case information or records, including the medical examiner report, can be released or posted on the website until further notice. The department understands the public's interest in these cases and remains committed to transparency when possible. Information will be made available once the court order is lifted. For questions about the court order, timeline, and law enforcement investigation into these deaths, please contact the LAPD. And you know who doesn't have a gag order on them? The LAPD. So the LAPD can file and get these gag orders for everybody else, but then they can still talk about it. The medical examiner is telling us to go ask LAPD. Wait, I want to ask the medical examiner. Why can't I ask LAPD? Why can't they talk? This is crazy. I thought this was supposed to be such an easy open and shut case. Could have been prevented. He's going to plea as if he's not guilty by reason of insanity, which is basically him saying he did it, but he's not guilty. The medical examiner can't even keep public what was already public. TMZ can release death certificates with the cause and the manner. They died from getting stabbed with a knife. But then they can just, the LAPD can just go and get the court to silence the public servants that have a duty to report to us what's going on. It's weird. We deserve transparency. They just have to be in control. Just have to be control. Where can you go that's better? There's nowhere to go. We live in an open air. The United States of America, about the freest place you could be. And it's still an open air hell prison run by clowns as prison guards. Thank God I'm American. I know y'all see my American flag because in our Constitution, we're supposed to be allowed to talk. In our Constitution, we have freedom. We have freedom of unalienable rights. Rights that God gives us and can't nobody take away. But these, I'll say redcoats are out here still trying to control us and tell us what to do. Okay, y'all, hold on one second. I got to do something. Sorry, I had a item on the personal agenda to attend to. Okay. All right. So okay. So something's weird with it. Something's weird with it. Everybody just knows for sure that he's guilty. Everybody just knows for sure he did it. So why we can't see the public records that were already public? That's stupid and it's weird. And it just confirms what I've been trying to tell y'all. There's something weird going on with this case. In my opinion, it's not as open and shut as they're trying to act like. And I'm putting it out here on record right now. I don't think Nick REINER was the only one involved. And guess what, y'all? Because we are being locked out, and this is the thing. This is the thing. Okay. this is one of the themes. This is one of the themes. The way that my brain works is in patterns. So I'm kind of trying to explain to y'all in the best of my ability of what my thought process is about this stuff, because it's a commentary channel. That's what this is. I do opinions and commentary, okay, and psychic visions sometimes. Here's the thing, and this theme is going to also permeate into the next section, the next segment of the show, which is going to be talking about Tylor Chase saga circus. Okay. I don't like it. And it also makes no logical sense whenever there's an obvious orchestrated media push to make us, we the people, have a certain reaction to something, have a certain thought about something. Then a 180 trying to tell us, don't worry about that. Don't look over there. In the Nick REINER case, that story was everywhere. All these comedians, YouTubers, Megan, this person, that person, Nancy freaking Grace, Bruce Rivers. I mean, and shout out to him. I like him. All these people. I made video, Rabbit made video. It's everywhere. TMZ, Page 6, New York Post, Washington Post, Times, this, that, the other. And it was Nick REINER. He was crazy. He was a junkie. Look at these old interviews. They think they're getting 1 million views, 100,000 views overnight. And now that the public is good and invested because of a very obvious media push, maybe it was for a good reason. We are good and invested. We are good and curious. Oh, no. LAPD says, let's shut that down. We cannot be having people know things. Well, then y'all shouldn't have put it all over everywhere. They make us care by force feeding it to us through our collective algorithms. And then we're like, okay, well, now we want to know. LAPD's like, no. What the hell? So that being said, I want to start transitioning to our next topic. Okay. And this is the Tylor Chase situation. Okay. You may have seen this story around and about, and truth be told, I didn't want to cover it. I'm kind of tired of the niche. Sometimes can we just let a former or current wayward man or wayward boy just handle their own business without me getting involved, right? Like, whatever, like to some extent, I've said what I needed to say. You should definitely follow me on Twitter because I've been saying a lot over there, but truth be told, I kind of try to avoid talking about this topic. I kind of thought it would just go away. I thought it would be a little fart in the wind moment. I thought it would be a day, a 2-day, 3-day thing. And then after Christmas, we wouldn't have to be dragged into it anymore. Okay. And yet again, this is kind of like the Nova situation. This is kind of like the ADAM22 16 Grand Mason of Nashua rap diss track situation. It's like at some point, they just poked me too much. They just, hey, did you see this? 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 And even though I was trying to be a little ostrich, have my little head in the sand on this particular one, because I just honestly, y'all, I mean, sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes it's kind of like, I thought that somebody was, going to maybe it was going to be a little poof and then gone. Yeah, it's going to be another skit. They're going to diagnose him with schizophrenia too. Watch. But it's this guy right here. Let me show you all the picture. Because I have a web too. I've started a web. This one. He was in what was it, Nickelodeon or Disney? I think it was Nickelodeon show. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. He was like one of the, side characters or whatever. And then it was all over, like completely it was unavoidable, ubiquitous even, this story. And it's like, oh my God, former child star Homeless on the streets doing drugs. Okay, well, I mean, it's probably 20% of them end up doing that. And what is the reason for that? It's not because they're just more inexplicably prone to being homeless on the street. It's because they're abused. They're exploited as little kids, and they are exposed to some of the most horrendous, horrible stuff the whole world has to offer as children. Then if it happens to be perpetuated against them by a powerful adult, they can if it happens to be a powerful adult, then they can actually be into more danger by telling on them. Now, do I know for sure that Tylor, specifically Chase, was abused? No, I don't. But I do know for sure that child stars or former child stars have a much higher rate of mental health issues than the general population. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they never really get off on the right foot. They're not able to become self-sufficient because instead of going to school or building for their future in some way, they put all their eggs in the becoming famous basket. Oftentimes because their parents either force them into doing it themselves, or the kids are pressured into taking care of their entire poor family with their acting skills. I mean, this is a tale as old as time. I've been studying this pattern for 5 years, 6 almost. Okay. So there was all these articles going around. And the articles were like former child star on the street or whatever. And I want to read this one right here because this is about where the so-called quote help, if they would have stopped here, I never would have said a word. Acid Boy 69420. Okay, so just consider the source. Acid Boy 69420 said, "Hey everyone, I wanted to make a update from my video on Tylor Chase, and I tried to find him later that day after I made the video. But I couldn't find him. But after updates on Instagram from Jacob Harris, he met with Tylor Chase and got him a motel room for the night and the resources for rehab. It's up to Tylor now. Bless everyone." Now, like I said, had they all just stopped here, that's great. No need to get me involved. Thank you. Moving on. And I did, in fact, and indeed, when I saw this update, I kind of looked away. All right, moving on. This is what I want to hear. Reached out to him, got him a hotel room, got him resources, and it's up to him now. Awesome. I agree. Moving on, right? Wrong. Let me pull up my web. We're going web. And this I just started today. This web was just started today. So it's not anything too involved at this point, but this is the web, okay? And I just want to cover some characters of the story here. This one right here is Jake Harris, okay? Jake Harris. He owns a few barber shops. This one right here, this is Sean Weiss, okay? That's formerly Sean Weiss, and this is kind of more what he looks like, more current. All right. So I do have a bit of a web set up here. Okay. So let's start here at this people. I have a section called the media push. First red flag. I'm gonna go through the red flags. First red flag. Britney Spears was literally trafficked. One of the most famous people that ever existed. One of the most photographed, if not the most photographed woman in the world ever, of all time in history of ever, was enslaved. She was trafficked. She was labor trafficked and very likely sex trafficked. She called it as trafficking. Okay. So for years, 10 years, 12 years. It was literally impossible to get a mainstream media source to comment, to make a comment. To comment in any way other than Brittany is crazy, and she's also happy. She's doing the best she ever did under the conservatorship and all of that. It was impossible. I tried getting the freaking New York Times to write about it. I reached out. I was tagging TMZ on every Twitter post I could. I was tagging the freaking FBI. All of us were. Thousands of us were. Crickets. And yet somehow, Tylor Chase, somebody none of us thought about twice since probably 2002, has his own dedicated page tab on TMZ. His own dedicated page tab on TMZ. People magazine is writing about it. Former child star, blah, 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 not declassified, blah, 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 former Mighty Duck. And again, y'all, I was trying to stay the hell out of it. But at some point, it starts to be very obvious somebody's pushing this. Some very powerful media PR mechanism is behind this story. Now, I'll just TLDR, just tell you what I think right now, right here. I think it's a very powerful lobbying group who's pushing for conservatorship laws, guardianship laws, putting into place a Marchman Act type of thing in California is probably what they want to do. That's my opinion. But for some reason or another, all of a sudden, TMZ has its own dedicated page to this random child star none of us ever really talked about or heard about or thought about until pretty recently. Now, when I found out, when I saw the pictures, when I saw the images, when I saw the videos of the guy, it did, of course, make me feel a sadness. My heart broke a little and stuff. And it's really sad to see somebody that just cute little child star. I used to watch that show. Oh, poor guy. But I don't know that man from Adam. So it's really not my business to go and try to trap him into a rehab and stuff. And then you start having these people coming out and saying, help us find him. And not just wee woo. Where have we seen that before? Missing person. Everybody look, last located this place. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Bam's missing. Dahlia missing, ran away. Help us find her. Okay, so Bam's missing from rehab. There's no Bam escaped. Bam escaped rehab. He didn't freaking escape. He didn't have to be there. He wasn't in a conservatorship at the time or guardianship because they are the same thing. He wasn't in a court-ordered treatment even at that point. It had all expired, and he escaped from rehab. Not only did he escape from rehab, Jess Margera and all of them are talking about it, but then it gets reported on by the real news. Also gets reported on by tabloids. Okay, so again, my brain works in patterns. I'm not saying or accusing anybody of doing anything illegal. I'm not even accusing anybody of having bad intentions. I'm not. They might have great intentions, but it happens to be my opinion, and I think I'm right. You can't force somebody to get help if they don't want it. It also happens to be my opinion that forcing somebody into rehab or detox or any psychiatric situation isn't help. That happens to be my opinion. That's not helpful. That actually is traumatizing and hurtful. It hurts. It makes it worse most of the time. That's my opinion. And so even if people are operating in good faith out of the, what they think is the best interest, I have some thoughts. All right. I have some thoughts. Okay. I also have seen in the past conflicts of interest. Okay. And we can start back with Britney too. Jamie Spears himself, Britney's guardian, conservator, same thing. He himself had a financial interest in Britney Spears being a slave to him. Lou Taylor, in my opinion, had conflicts of interest financially with Britney Spears. They were, she's crazy. We got to lock her up. She's crazy. We got to have control over her life. Lou Taylor was originally in talks of being Britney's conservator, but she ended up not being. She ended up not applying to do that. But Britney Spears did not want Lou Taylor, for example, to be her financial manager. She did not want Britney to be her, Britney did not want Lou to be her manager. Well, as soon as Britney got put into the conservatorship, Lou Taylor became her manager. Lou Taylor became her money manager. Lou Taylor became her accountant. Lou Taylor also became the one that was reporting all of this to the court. Lou Taylor put Britney's money, or somebody put Britney's money into Lou Taylor's investment firm that Lou Taylor started. Now, Lou Taylor says that she no longer is affiliated or associated with that investment firm, but the point remains, and nevertheless, that she started it. She was a director according to public records. She was a vice president, a founder, according to public records of this firm, and Britney's money, while Lou Taylor was affiliated with it, was in that firm. So these are conflicts of interest. And it's like, okay, hold on. How do I know for sure that what you're doing is in the best interest of this person? You're trying to tell me it's in her best interest, but just because somebody's daddy is involved, don't mean that it's in the person's best interest. Put a 2 in the, or a 3 or a 5 in a chat if you know. Just because somebody's mommy or daddy is involved doesn't mean that the mommy or the daddy is necessarily acting in that person's best interest. And that doesn't mean that the mommy or daddy is acting in bad faith. Sometimes the mommy or daddy just don't know what's best for their adult child and needs to just back off. Okay. So I want to read through a few little things here. Let's start here. People magazine. It was written by Madison E. Goldberg, digital news writer, Emerson College. Okay. This article right here, Daniel Curtis Lee says he helped Tylor Chase. Okay, we'll start there. So let me pull that article up. Okay, People Magazine, peoplepushmagazine.com. Daniel Curtis Lee says he helped Tylor Chase, his Ned's Declassified co-star, who is experiencing homelessness. This is what they say now instead of just saying who's homeless. Okay, so we gotta have 72 syllables, just say homeless. Okay, experiencing homelessness. So he helped him with a hotel room. He offered assistance to Tylor Chase following an outpouring of support from other actors. So where did the outpouring of support from other actors come from? Again, I want to remind you, it was from the media push. Because all of a sudden, our news feeds on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook were just boom, 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 Tylor Chase, Ned's Declassified. So then Jennifer, maybe you need to leave the video and come back because that's not happening for me. Okay. So it's a whole economy. Now, I want to say again, because I'm serious and I want it to be very clear. I am not in any way implying anybody in particular is doing something in a bad faith, for a bad reason, for money, for economy. For all I know, this man right here, Daniel Curtis Lee, really was just trying to help his friend by getting him a hotel. Could be. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that because I don't know these people. I don't know them. But my brain works in patterns. I'll tell you that. Okay. The guy said he was ignorant to think that was help. Yeah, that's not help. But maybe he was trying to help. Okay. Daniel Curtis Lee helped his former Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide co-star Tylor Chase with a hotel room and a meal. Chase is currently experiencing homelessness in California. Daniel Curtis Lee stepped in to help Chase for the holidays as his fellow Ned's co-stars work toward a plan for long-term assistance. So before we even take a step further, who are these people to him? Have they talked? Have they talked recently? Because just because people were on Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide together doesn't mean that they were friends anymore. I know y'all remember hearing about how there was beef on the Zoe 101 set between the actors. They were jealous of each other, this and that. So it's also screaming soft white underbelly. Now, Valkyus Awakening is saying that they were friends in high school. Who was friends in high school? Who's the they? Because I'm talking about the other ones from the Ned's Declassified. Was it Daniel Curtis Lee? Now, so that you are aware, this article right here that we're reading, this one came out Christmas Eve. Okay, Christmas Eve, this one came out. Stepped in to help, and now all these co-stars are working together for a plan for long-term assistance. Daniel Curtis Lee is helping his former, castmate in a time of need. He shared updates on Instagram about, okay, they got the wrong name here. It's supposed to be Tylor Chase, who is experiencing homelessness in California days after a video of the actor went AstroTurf viral on social media. In the clips, the two men share a meal at a pizza restaurant. Then Daniel Curtis Lee accompanies him to a hotel room where Daniel Curtis Lee says Tylor Chase is going to stay as he works with others toward a plan for long-term assistance. And so how many hotels has Mark Lata gotten for Rebecca and Exotic and the girl that, he ended up dating and died or whatever? Like, how many times is going to get people hotel rooms? It's like, well, the issue is when the people try to leave the hotel rooms, then it's like they didn't accept the help. It's like, but what are y'all really? Who are these people coming into this hotel room to try to work with him? We don't know. And the way that People Magazine, Madison or whatever, Goldberg likes to try and say and tries to act is like, we should just assume it's necessarily all good and great. Now, as far as Daniel Curtis Lee, I have no reason to believe he's doing anything else other than trying to help. He probably was devastated and shocked to see, his friend doing this. But this is where I want to warn y'all, because there's something I'm going to start incorporating into talking about on my channel. Not everybody that approaches you trying to act like y'all are friends is your friend. Okay. And that extends all the way to this channel, to my channel, to my live chat. When I'm talking about situations like this, topics like this, addiction, mental health, rehab, AA, recovery, things like that, I take a lot of pride. I take a lot of pride in having this little live chat right here where people can say their own story and their own truth in their own way, in their own terms. I like it. And I've done it on purpose. I want this to be a place where people can talk about and open up about that stuff, because for me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm really not judging. It's come to my attention that there may have been some, we'll say, bad actors in my live chats. At least two of them that I'm aware of. And again, like I said, I am waiting for some records to come back before I spill the whole beans. But you may have noticed there were some very active members of my chat in the before times that are just not here anymore. It's because I found evidence that led me to believe that they were preying as predators prey on people in my chat. They would basically target people in my live chat to try and get them offline and lure them to places to try and take advantage of them. So I'm not going to be naming any names right now because, like I said, I am waiting for some public records to come back, and I'm waiting to put the story all together because there's a whole lot of questions that I still have myself. But suffice it to say that I was taken advantage of and lied to by people who sat in my live streams for years and heard me preaching against conservatorships and Baker Acts on people that are completely in control of their facilities. They knew who I was. They knew how I was. They knew what I believed, and yet tried to bamboozle me and make me think it was okay to put somebody in a conservatorship or a Baker Act. girl, there's so much I want to say. But the really only reason that I'm bringing it up right now is to say, even if you meet somebody in my chat, they don't represent me. I do not encourage y'all to meet each other offline. I do not encourage y'all to make a support group offline. I don't know these people. If anybody's saying that they wanted you to come to my Telegram or my Discord, I don't have one. That's a lie. If anybody's saying, oh, BJ told me to tell you, that's not true. If I got something to say to you, I'll say it. If I got something to say to you, I'll ask for your number. It's come to my attention there might have been a person or two out here acting like BJ, me, told them to tell somebody. No, nobody talks on the behalf of me. I can talk for myself. So that being said, sometimes people are trying to enslave somebody to try to take over their social security benefits. They're trying to enslave somebody to take over their house, to take their wedding ring. I mean, people will shoot somebody down in the street over $5. Okay, so what will they do over a life insurance policy? Okay. Now, add that together with the fact that there's being laws passed all over the place, including in California, that makes it way easier to confine somebody against their will for things, for being homeless, for being on drugs, for having a drug. It's a fine line between crime and law enforcement and slavery. And we got to stay right here on the line. Shout out to Morris for being a member for 13 months. Happy New Year, cousin BJ. All the M&Ms of the rap game should be ashamed after this crabby BS. I'm telling you. Thank you, oh my Lord, for the $10 super chat. You've got it, BJ. Happy New Year, Mr. Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Sour Girl, who donated $1.99 for my rap career. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks so much, Kels on Earth, for the $2 super chat. My suspicion, somebody manipulated him to do it. Who, you mean Daniel? Again, y'all, I mean, Daniel might be trying to help. Okay, I'm not saying nothing bad about Daniel. I used to watch this show. I liked it. I have no reason to believe Daniel would do anything wrong or bad. And especially if they went to school together. Okay, so I'm not trying to say anybody that I'm going to talk about today is doing anything wrong, illegal, or bad. But my brain works in patterns, and I want to show y'all some patterns. Shout out to my cousin Angel Gidry. Thanks so much for the $9.99 super chat. This has been a hilarious live, cousin. I try to keep it light. Okay. Trickery, whatever it is, I rebuke it all. Okay, so we're back to this People Magazine article. Again, this one came out on Christmas Eve. Like, nobody don't have nothing else to do. Like, Madison Goldberg don't have nothing else to do on Christmas Eve than to write an article about Tylor Chase. But okay, we'll continue. Daniel offered an update on Tylor Chase's situation after the visit. Quote, so a lot of people have been reaching out. Well, yeah, I mean, that's to be expected, right? Because they did shove this down all of our collective algorithm throats. We saw it. Okay. A lot of people have been reaching out and seeing if I'm still in touch with Tylor since the last TikTok video where I went to visit him. And yeah, man, as a matter of fact, I just got off a call with him. He then said that communicating with Tylor had been difficult because he will have a phone one day and then maybe not have a phone the next day. He elaborated, this is Daniel elaborated that he was hoping to form a trust to which people could donate funds to help Chase get back on his what? A trust? That's pretty complex. Not a GoFundMe, a trust. You know who else had a trust? And Stephen B. Timmer, the interventionist, said he was hired by the trustee to get Bam Margera some help. Bam Margera. He's got a guardian. There's a trust. There's a trust. I was hired by the trustee to get him some help. And what was, in fact, the help? It was psychiatrically incarcerating Bam Margera in Florida, in what would become the Florida Shuffle. Now, Bam said he was held against his will in over 10 rehabs. Stephen B. Timmer said there was a trust. Part of the reason that Bam needed to be protected was because there was the trust. Bam can't just be out here spending his own money in his own trust. No. And he needs to be protected. Okay. All right. Okay. Patterns. My brain works in patterns. Now, speaking of patterns, this is California. This is not Florida. So that's not the same, right? So, I mean, the same way that some things appear to be similar, some things appear not to be. Daniel Curtis Lee elaborated he was hoping to form a trust to which people could donate funds. Now, keep this in mind, because they were in People magazine on Christmas Eve. They were kind of insinuating we should be donating money to help, right? The public. We should be donating money to help. Help what? Tylor Chase, quote, get back on his feet, and was looking into rehabilitation programs that would best suit his needs. Okay. So, okay, maybe Tylor Chase wanted to go to rehab. Let's read further. In a second Instagram video published on Tuesday, the day before this article came out, Daniel Curtis Lee went on to explain that that Tylor Chase was able to speak with his father on FaceTime. Okay, but what do we know about fathers? Just because they're involved, does that mean anything? No. And several of Chase's former co-stars are working together to help get him into a facility. Okay, so looking into rehabs, working with the dad, trying to get people into a facility. Wow, patterns, everybody. He said, quote, a lot of you guys are concerned about Tylor Chase this holiday season, and I wanted to give you an update. A new character is about to enter the chat, everybody. Get your notebook out, get your web out. Okay, Sean Weiss. This is a different name. We have two names already. Tylor Chase, he's the one that was the former star. He's the one that's experiencing homelessness. Okay. We have this other guy, Daniel Curtis Lee, who is a former co-star on Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Okay. So that's Daniel Curtis Lee. Now we have another person's name entering the chat. It's Sean Weiss. Now I did reach out to Sean Weiss, asked him some questions. We're going to go over what his answer was to that in a while, but Sean Weiss and his team. Okay, so this is a quote. This is a quote from Daniel Curtis Lee, the former co-star. A lot of you guys are concerned about Tylor this holiday season, and I wanted to give you an update. Sean Weiss, whoever the hell that is, and his team, whoever the hell they are, put a lot of effort into trying to get him, Tylor, into a hospital last night. So is it a rehab or is it a hospital? They're calling it different stuff, rehabilitation program, into a facility, and now it's a hospital. So now it's starting to sound like a 5150 hold, an involuntary psychiatric hold, not simply just helping him get into a facility that he maybe actually wants to go to. Oh my God, thank you so much for the help. I'll go to rehab. No, that's not what happened. They were trying to get him into a hospital. Now, again, how much of this does Daniel Curtis Lee know? How much of this does Tylor? Which part? Who plays in what? I don't know. Where maybe they all really thought that locking somebody up and enslaving them against their will was helpful. But I guarantee you the racist plantation owners used to also think that. Did it make it right? We can't let these enslaved people go. They won't be able to survive without us, the plantation owners would say. How is that different? How is it different than acting like you know what's best for somebody else's life and taking their rights away? Somebody said, sounds kind of like a kidnapping. TGF said, I see so many weird influencers talking about how this is a good thing for him. His dad told me it worked, but turns out he kind of backed out. Okay, so now we start to get indications. Tylor Chase doesn't want this help. My brain works in patterns. Quote, so they couldn't get him into a car last night, and that's why they weren't able to get him into a hospital. Okay, well, they couldn't get him into a car is a funny way of saying he didn't want to get into that car with the strangers. My brain works in patterns. Do you remember Amanda Rabb? Do you remember Mark Leta saying on camera in a public video that he put out on his own channel? Mark Leta said, I had Amanda in my car, and once she realized that I wasn't bringing her to where she thought I was bringing her, and instead realized I was taking her to get schizophrenia medications, aka drugged. I was taking her to have her drugged. She started trying to kick the windows out of my car. Amanda tried to kick the windshield out of the car. Mark Leza said he had to pull over and let her out, or she was going to kick the windows out, or the windshield. Windows, windshield, I don't remember exactly. So here we have someone explaining to us as if it's something we're supposed to be cheering about, arfing like seals. Yay! Put the man. And again, they're saying they're trying to say that he's on. Please don't type this out in the chat. And please, if you can support the channel by a little super chat here, a little super chat there, because these videos do get demonetized and they don't get any views and they don't get any reach. And I understand why. But if you would like to support my work in this type of subject matter where I can speak a little bit more freely, it does help. If you can, throw a little 99 cents, a little $4.99 here, there, it really does help. But my brain works in patterns. Okay. They couldn't get him into a car last night, so they weren't able to get him to the hospital. It's the holiday season. It's raining out. I just want them, whoever them is, I think them is Sean Weiss and his team. They put a lot of effort into getting him into a hospital, a 5150. I thought it worked. His dad told me it worked, but he backed out. How did he back out? Because he wouldn't get in their car. That's why they weren't able to get him to the hospital. It's the holiday season. It's raining out. I just want them to have some basic accommodations. He wanted to stay local, and this was the only one that was open and accepted people. And that's him as a kid. Okay, thank you so much, Tylor Chase replied as Daniel hugged him inside the hotel room. Give me a hug, man. Love you, brother. Love you, man. So happy to see you, dude, said Daniel Curtis Lee. You're the man, brother. I believe in you. We're going to win, bro. All we got to do is stay with it and keep working. Who is we? You have this man in a hotel. What is we? If I'm trying to pick my friend up and bring them somewhere, I'm a probably bring them to my house. Nobody offered up a room. Okay. That's what I think is real interesting. All these close friends and nobody offered a room. Here's a hotel. We're in this together, brother. Hug. Bye. What? What are you talking about? Thanks so much, Lindsay, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much for all the amazing content. You do not work for us, but you sure do work. Thanks so much for that $4.99. Thank you so much to Ash Lawley. Thanks to Ash for being a member for 7 months and the little alien emoji. Thanks so much to Kenley for the $1.99 super chat. Speak freely, cousin. I'm trying. I sure am. Okay, so let's continue reading. We have a lot to get through. On Monday, December 22nd, Weiss, who in the hell is Weiss? He's the new one that entered the chat, right? He had starred in the Mighty Ducks movies. He shared an Instagram video that he had received, quote, many messages about Tylor Chase, and he took action. I reached out to some friends of mine, and we have a bed for him, not at their house. No, at a detox. And we have a place for him to go and get long-term treatment. My brain works in patterns. Does it sound familiar? They have him a detox, and they have a place for him to go get long-term treatment. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about this Weiss character. But the Mighty Ducks came out 1992. And the Mighty Ducks is a 30-something-year-old movie. Okay, this was not in the same peak moment as Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide by any means. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide came out in the 2000s. Mighty Ducks came out in 1992. 12 years later. Okay. So these are not people that were child stars at the same time. This Mighty Ducks guy has really, from what I can see, nothing to do with this situation. Now, we are going to read some articles that are going to kind of give us some context, but just starting from here, it's like, wait, hold on. They're not going to bother introducing like why it is the Mighty freaking Ducks guy is involved now. We're not going to talk about that. Hold on. What are you just going to drop the Mighty Ducks guy on us? Who the hell is he? I reached out to some friends of mine. He said, we have a bed for him at a detox. So do his friends own the detox? Is he getting a kickback of any sort? Is he getting monetary? What's his interest in this? I want to know. And did People Magazine bother to ask? It doesn't seem like they did. He even went on to share Tylor Chase's location. So enlisting the public, my brain works in patterns. Enlisting the public to find and track down this man who I'm not even sure Shaun Weiss even knows. They weren't on a show together, from what I know. Shaun Weiss out of nowhere is saying, hey, public, help me find. My brain works in patterns. Who did this? Local woman is missing. Bam Margera ran away. Who's done this? Asking fans to get in touch with Weiss if they can help. What does help mean? Track them down. This is a degree and a half away from stalking. Maybe they're doing it for good reason. Innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying he's stalking. I would never accuse somebody of a crime like that. Now, this guy, Shaun Weiss, has his own issues to worry about. He has previously opened up about his past experiences with homelessness as well as addiction amid his sobriety journey. And shout out to him for becoming sober. I know it's hard. He shared in an April episode of Pod Meets World. Okay, so he's in the reality TV wash up, whatever you want to call them. Is it called a washout? A washout? Washed up. He's in the washed up reality TV podcaster circuit. Okay, good to know. And not being by Pod Meets World. It's the Boy Meets World podcast. And they every now and again try to act like they have something interesting or important to say. No offense to them. I mean, I was watching Boy Meets World, but that was much more entertaining than their podcast. No offense. But he went on this Shaun Weiss guy, said he benefited from a tremendous amount of support from people who were invested. Invested is an interesting word. Invested in his recovery as fans of his acting. Tylor Chase was on Ned's Declassified. Lee and Chase's other co-stars, Devon Wertheiser and Lindsay Shaw, or Devin, I think this is Ned and the other girl, addressed videos circulating on the internet of their friend going through some stuff during an episode in September. This push has been going on since September. All of us in the Ned's community, not everything's a community, girl. Sometimes it's just a cult. All of us in the Ned's community are figuring out what it looks like to see him. How can we help? What can we do? Okay. So let's go back to the web, okay? Because I need to show y'all what's going on over here with this Shaun Weiss character. All right. So this is Shaun Weiss. This is where I got him on the web, and that's a picture that's public. And it is clear that he has gone through his own issues. Mighty Ducks, Shaun Weiss celebrates 2 years of sobriety. This was from 2022. So if he's still sober, been sober this whole time, it's been about 5 years. And again, congratulations to him. That's very hard to do. But as I started looking into these stories, Mighty Ducks, he was sober, whatever, you see all of them, they're from like about the same time frame, February to June 2022. And in all of them, he kind of shares this number. If you or someone you know is in need of treatment, 866-480-2496. Look at this right here, people.com. Again, people.com. Do y'all find that to be interesting? I do. Do y'all find that to be interesting? I do. 3 years ago, people.com was also talking about this Shaun Weiss fellow. And if you or someone is in need of treatment, call this number. Look at here, Shaun Weiss's Instagram itself. For your love and support, if you or someone you know is in need of treatment, 866-480-2496. Okay, cool. Mighty Ducks Sean Weiss. This is soberinfo.com, February 2022. If you or someone you know is in need of treatment, 866-480-2496. And they went all the way up to CNN. I wonder if Chloe Malos was still working there at the time. Mighty Ducks star Sean Weiss celebrates 2 years sober, January 2022. If you are someone you know, 866-480-2496. So you might be thinking, oh, that's like some type of hotline number. That's some type of SAMHSA, mental health, California. No, it's not. No, it's not. I called that number this morning. Now, I didn't get an answer, but I did get an answering machine. And let me just play it for y'all. I'll play y'all what it said when I called that number. Again, fully expecting it to be, thank you for calling California, like basically 211, I'm in a mental health crisis number. If you or someone you know, because there's no shortage of this in California. There's been billions of dollars, billions, plural of billions put precisely towards this, helping the homeless, helping the people who struggling with addiction, substance use and abuse, and helping people who have substance, homeless, and mental health. So there's billions of dollars out there for that. Okay. So it's not like there's just no resources and he needed Daniel Curtis Lee to roll up on him and give him a hotel room. Although I can understand and appreciate that Daniel did do that if he was, genuinely trying to help. Thanks so much to Joy Connolly for the $9.99 super chat. I can't imagine how Tylor feels right now. Must be hard with all this attention. Sound like he's fine. He's losing his phone every other day. I don't care. Thanks so much for that super chat. Thank you, Illyri, for the 99-cent super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dan Williams, for the $1.99 super chat. Love your dedication to digging. Have a happy new year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Morris for the $5 super chat. I think he's doing it because he knows what it's like to be in that situation. Oh, maybe. Maybe, Morris. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thanks so much to Ashla Lee for the $10. Never stop seeking the truth, BJ. You're our favorite investigator, attorney cousin. I'm not an attorney. I'm a lawyer. Okay, so let me play y'all the voice mail. Or not it's not really loud. Y'all might have to turn up your volume on this because I'm no audio engineer. Okay, I was just like holding my phone up recording it, but wait.
Thank you for calling Quest to Recovery. This call will be recorded for quality assurance. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, press 1 for the admissions department.
Okay, so when I called the number, it clearly said, I don't know if y'all heard it or not. I know it was quiet. Thank you for calling Quest to Recovery. My brain works in patterns. Instagram, people.com, soberinfo.com, CNN.com. Remember at the beginning of this segment when I said how hard it actually is to get the mainstream media to pay attention to some story, even if you got a big story? But somehow this number for Quest to Recovery gets blasted out on people.com, CNN.com, and it's attached to this guy right here, the Mighty Ducks Sean Weiss. And now this Mighty Ducks Sean Weiss is being pushed all over the place as helping a kid from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, which is something that was popular 12 years after the height of the Mighty Ducks popularity. Okay, so this is interesting. This is a media push. Now, I'm not saying any of these individuals are responsible for the media push, and I'm not even saying it's bad necessarily, but it is interesting to me because it is very difficult to get the mainstream media to care about big stories. But for some reason, this guy is being pushed 3 years ago on the same sources, People Magazine, for example, as now they're pushing again. Now, I told y'all I wasn't going to bury the lead. I believe this is all a lobbying group, a very powerful group with money and access to managers and PR agents and this and that to try to make all of us out here have the collective, oh yeah, let's lock people up. even though they didn't commit a crime. That's my opinion. But I'm not saying like, Sean Weiss necessarily knows that. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this Instagram video that Sean Weiss put out. Oh, where is it? That's not the right thing, girl. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. So this is where it starts to, again, my brain works in patterns. This was posted by Sean Weiss, the Mighty Ducks actor, on December 22nd. Okay. First things first, I want to draw your attention to the collaborator on the post. Sean Weiss and 11 Recovery Rehab Center. Okay. Now, I also want to draw your attention. This was 1 week ago. All right. 1 week ago, Sean Weiss says, let's find Tylor, not his name, Tylor Chase ASAP. Now, today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025, and still this is the caption. Let's find Tylor Chase. Okay. So clearly this ain't Tylor Chase's friend. He don't even know his name. And maybe you're thinking, oh, it was just a typo. Maybe that's what you're thinking.
Long-term treatment.
Let's listen to what he says.
Chase. I reached out to some friends. Messages about Tylor Chase.
Who?
I reached out to some friends of mine, and we have a bed for him at a detox, and we have a place for him to go and get long-term treatment, thanks to my buddy Mike Jordan at 1111 Recovery. All we need to do.
So now it's 1111 Recovery. Hold on. Weren't we just talking about Quest? Hold on. Does Quest have anything to do with 1111 Recovery? 1111 Recovery is being tagged here. His buddy Mike Jordan has a bed for detox or whatever, but they don't even know his freaking name. Hold on. Put a 6 in the chat if you're thinking, hold on, wee woo. Now put it together with the fact it's all over People Magazine. It's all over TMZ, has a whole tab for updates. They're using everybody and their mama's name, and this Mighty Ducks guy is connected how? Why are people reaching out to him about Ned's declassified school survival guide character when he was in the Mighty Ducks? That don't add up. They don't even know his freaking name. He's saying the name wrong and spelling the name wrong. And still today, that was a week ago, they didn't even know his name. Okay, keep that in mind. I want you to remember this man doesn't even know Tylor Chase's name. 1 week ago. 1 week ago. Okay, 1 week ago. I don't like it. And here's the thing, y'all. If they would have just kept this crap off my timeline, they could have just did whatever they needed to do. But it's whenever it's coordinated with a media PR push and they're trying to basically make all of us think it's slavery is okay. That's whenever I start to think, no, we're not doing that. I have things to say. We're not doing that. I can tell you that. Thanks so much, JC, for the $4.99 super chat. Your perspective is so very needed, and I agree. They are manufacturing consent for work camps, and I don't consent. I don't consent to a work camp, not for kids, not for adults, not a work farm. That's Nazi shit. Work make free shit. I don't like that. I actually rebuke. Bitch, I rebuke. Shout out to Chantelli Lace for the becoming a new member. Thank you. Thank you, Liz, for becoming a member. And thank you to Chantel Lee Lace, 89 for the $5 super chat. Thank you for all you do for getting the truth out. You're the only one I trust to follow. And look, y'all, I don't know the truth. I don't know the truth. I just know my red flag senses are tingling. And my brain works in patterns. We've been here before. Thanks so much to JC. Thank you for being a voice for the voiceless. My dad, therapist, was also an addict, or is. I have a lot of friends also who are addicts as well. It's ubiquitous. So many of us have dealt with it, either personally or through a love, firsthand through a loved one, whatever, as Lima would say. But I'm just speaking what I notice. I'm speaking what I notice. Okay, so remember he shouted out his buddy Mike Jordan. Okay, so Mike Jordan, in case you're wondering, that's him right there. That's Mike Jordan. You might have been wondering who's the buddy Mike Jordan. That's him. That's him right there. That's the recovery center. Again, public information. I did go ahead and look up, the business filings, which are public. There's also another woman, co-founder, co-owner, Farrah Reagan. That's her right there. Her very professional. Looks like she needs to be in charge of people's life for sure, right? Yeah. Anyway, so again, y'all, this is just notes. This is not facts. But this is Sean. Sean said that was his buddies. That's his buddy, Mike Jordan. We got a bed for Tylor Chase, whoever in the hell that shit is. Whoever in the hell Tylor Chase is, we got a bed for him 1 week ago. Okay, interesting. So you're gonna see another character enter the chat, and that's this one right here. Now, just straight off the bat, his name is Jake. He goes by Jake Harris. Now, he was out here starting to give updates too. Who's he? He ain't even in the Mighty Ducks. He's just some barbershop owner. All right. So things are about to get kind of weird. Things are getting weird, but I wanted to introduce you to who this is. And this is the one picture that you could find on his Twitter. Now I had to censor it. There's something censored behind this blue. There's something censored behind this right here. But for all intents and purposes, it appears as though he either participates in or manages people who participate in pornography. Okay. Well, again, I can't show this public picture on this video right now at risk of, getting in trouble and stuff. I don't want to get in trouble. I like following rules over here and stuff. But this is the type of character we're dealing with. Okay. So this is where I start to have questions, because I'm like, wait a second. This guy looks like a pervert himself. No offense. His profile picture is him next to a tattooed butt, bare butt. He posts stuff like this. Pro tip, wear glasses at work so you can sexually harass people and they won't know. I mean, so no one knows what you're looking at. And he's got his face like in somebody's butt crack. He posts, this young lady with a split open tongue. And, y'all know I got tattoos. I got American traditional. Look, there's my dad right there. Let me show y'all my dad. This is a sick tattoo. I should have oiled it. This is a good tattoo right here. This is a good one. Okay. Look at that. It says dad. That's my dad. That's my dad. Don't we look alike? Okay, so I got tattoos. I got them. Okay, so nothing against a tattoo. Obviously, that'd be kind of hypocritical, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's a good tattoo. And it's got a wrench. A screwdriver. It's got a rusty bike chain around the top. And then over here, more wrenches, more screwdrivers. Okay, so I'm allergic to everything. So I'm just pink and red all the time. But don't worry about me. Okay, don't worry about me. So I like an American traditional tattoo, clearly. I always got my dad. He's got my back and my shoulder. Okay. That being said, this lady got her tongue split open. This guy got his head in somebody's ass crack. And they're out here trying to entrap other people. This man's out here trying to chase down and track down Tylor Chase to put him in a rehab. Something's weird's going on. Who gets face tattoos? Maybe he needs to be put in, or maybe he's not in a position to be making decisions for himself. Do you see how the slope can slip? That doesn't look like, I mean, what are his job prospects at this point? He owns a barber shop. I mean, God forbid it goes out of business. Again, I have no problem with a tattoo, but I also have no problem letting people suffer the consequences of their own choices. You are never going to see me out here using the full force of the media to track somebody down and put them in a rehab. It is never going to happen. In fact, and indeed, pretty recently, I'd say about 2 months ago, some people I trusted, a person I really trusted, did indeed try to get me on board with locking somebody up in a Baker Act. It was astonishing to me that this person didn't get it, sat through all my lives, didn't get it. I'm never going to be out here saying, yeah, let's lock this person up. I say it as a joke sometimes about ADAM22 16 Gray Mason or whatever, because he said that about me, but I don't mean that. I don't think Adam 1622 Gray Mason should actually be locked up for saying his opinions. I really don't. Okay. It's a joke when I say it for affect. Okay. So he seems to be a pervert himself. He seems to support very alternative lifestyle choices, which is fine. Shout out to the First Amendment. But won't you worry about your own self? I said it. I said, wait, this guy that's trying to help Tylor Chase, a pornographer covered in demon tattoos? Seems like this guy needs more help than Tylor. Okay. Okay. So, what's really going on? You know, I mean, it's kind of where I am with it. Let me pull up. Let's do this one. Okay, this is a TMZ article. There's another rehab in California run by an influencer called Graceland. You should look into that location. Okay. It's like ADAM22 16 Gray Mason trying to rehab somebody. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting into it. I do have a theory that he is going to start like spinning people off into rehabs. Like, there's such a huge storyline on ADAM22 16 Gray Mason No Jumper podcast that is like everybody's on drugs. Lush can't keep his eyes open. Freaking Aunt Heffy's falling asleep in his cereal bowl on the chat, and Munchie B's getting too drunk to even keep himself together. It's like that's kind of a theme on the show. Okay, I'm gonna do reader view only. This came out yesterday at 1 a.m. And look how TMZ puts it too. The title. Thanks so much, Tina Marie 5D, for the $20 super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Police say they can't force Tylor Chase into treatment because of the laws. Well, no shit. Police say they can't enslave anybody because those pesky laws that don't let you have slaves no more. Doesn't that suck? TMZ is saying. Everybody, look at the poor laws. Oh my God, the laws won't let us enslave this guy. Won't let us drug him on our drug of choice against his will, everybody. And again, I have a strong belief this is all being pushed by a lobbying group that's trying to pass laws that make it easier to enslave us. I've seen it before. The Free Act, anybody? The care courts, anybody? It's already happened. It's not like I'm suspecting that it's going to happen and it didn't ever happen before. It's already happened. It's already started. And all I can do, I can't stop it. If I could stop it, I would have stopped it. I can't stop it. All I can do is notice patterns and hold the freaking line. For all the 35 years I've been alive, you've been able to just be a crackhead out on the street. And until or unless you are committing a crime, you're just left alone. Now, if they want to make crack a crime to have or possess or to smoke, they can do that. Go do it. They didn't do that. What they want to make a crime is being unsightly. That's what they want the crime to be. If we took a camera and went all the way up and down Skid Row and all the way up and down the Figueroa corridor, how many people on drugs experiencing homelessness do you think we'd see? I think thousands would be a conservative estimate. It could be tens. It could be tens of thousands of people, just like Tylor Chase sitting just like that out there. So why nobody from TMZ ain't talking about them? What about all the Novas? What about all the children being sex trafficked up and down Skid Row and the Figueroa corridor? TMZ don't have a tab for that? TMZ don't have a tab for that? It's Tylor Chase that has a tab. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Tylor Chase cops, whatever in the hell that is, say they can't help him. Their hands are tied by law. This isn't true. This is actually false. Because what they're trying to call help is slavery. They can absolutely help him. If a person walks like a Tylor Chase situation, walks up to a cop and says, hey, I'm addicted to drugs. Do you know of any resources that you can send me or I can go to? Please, officer, I'm ready to get off these streets. They can absolutely help him. So when they say they can't help him, that's not true. That's a lie. What they're actually saying is they can't enslave him. They can't enslave him. They can't forcibly drug him against his will and his wishes. They can't forcibly force him into a car because that would be kidnapping. Okay. Tylor Chase is back on the streets of Riverside. Now he's not in Los Angeles. Is Riverside part of Los Angeles? No, I think it's a different county. Streets of Riverside. There's nothing police can do to help him. That's not true. That's false. Riverside Police Department spokesperson Ryan Railsback, a public servant, by the way, our servant. Let's not let the Ryan Railsbacks of the world forget it too. The actor is desperately in need of long-term care, but the criminal laws prevent them from forcing Tylor into a mental health or substance abuse treatment facility. Why? Because mental health is not a crime, stupid. And if you're not careful, they will have us out here being like, you should be criminalized for having mental health problems. There is very good reason why mental health is not a crime. Okay? There's very good reason for this. It's constitutionally founded. Imagine, you got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, you got to go to jail. That's draconian, and it's concentration camp. It's work, make free. It's Nazi shit. Sorry, that's what it is. Y'all are out here arfing like seals trying to make mental health a crime. And it's not really your fault. It's very sophisticated, complicated propaganda push going on right before your very eyes. And they have done this in a way that has pulled on our heartstrings. He was this cute little, precious little kid boy actor. Oh my God, he was so cute, little precious little innocent thing. And now look at him. Oh my God, we got to enslave him. We got to work, make free this bitch. Let's go. Shove him in the car if you have to. Other states have similar laws handcuffing the police. Handcuffing the police from what? Because being an addict and having depression is not a crime. And they are twisting that as if the cops are handcuffed. We are handcuffing the cops because they can't arrest you for having bipolar disorder. Hello? Now, one thing I'll tell you right now, none of this shit applies to me. I ain't going nowhere against my will. Give me liberty or give me death. I'll be in solitary fucking confinement before you're injecting me with your booty shot, bitch. I'm not going. And if I turn up dead, I didn't kill myself. That's a promise. Now, could they make homelessness illegal? A lot of places have loitering laws. You can't panhandle. No soliciting laws. They can make that a law. Have they done that in California? No. What they've done in Canada, I don't think they should do that, by the way. Me saying they could do that is not me saying they should. Because I think it is like anybody can fall on hard times and become homeless. But there's two types of homeless. And y'all can fool yourself. You can argue with your mama, but you're not going to argue with me. There's two kinds of homeless. There's fell on hard times and the person don't want to be homeless. But that's just fell on hard times. And that can happen to any of us. There's another type of homeless, and that's the people that don't want to work. They don't want a job. They're perfectly happy being homeless. And, you know, once there is like 1,000 of those in your downtown, it does kind of start to be like, all right, y'all, like, I don't want to be tripping over the needles on my way to school. And I don't think little kids that live in the neighborhood should be doing that either. So I don't know I'm not going to act like I know what the solution is, because if I did, I would have run for office already. I don't know what the solution is, but I know for sure the solution is not taking away our rights because the cops can't keep the streets clean. Okay, that's not. I also don't think it's a good policy to criminalize just homelessness in general, because anyone can become homeless at any time. Most of us are a paycheck or two away from losing it all. So, I mean, it shouldn't be a crime either. But like the way they're writing this article, TMZ, this is literally yesterday. They're calling the cops handcuffed because they can't arrest people for having mental health and substance abuse. Well, no shit. I mean, I think that's pretty okay. What, we should pass a law to make anyone with a mental health problem a criminal? That don't seem right to me. That can't be the solution. Then here we go with this Sean Weiss push again. Why are they bringing this freaking guy up? What is his expertise? I mean, look, listen, I do think it's important to have people who have been through these things themselves, who were child actors themselves, to speak out and to support. And so in that way, I'm glad and proud and happy about this Sean Weiss guy entering the chat. But he's been sharing a number for Quest to Recovery on CNN, People Magazine, his own Instagram account, soberinfo.com. Now he's tagged and collaborating in posts with 11 Recovery, whoever in the hell that is. And he don't even know Tyler Chase's name. It ain't Taylor. He spelled it Taylor, and he said Taylor. It's a slippery slope. Sickly Ignition said, I spend a week homeless sometimes when I go camping. Does that mean I should be arrested? And here's the thing too, y'all. I mean, I've spent time abroad and I've been very blessed to have the opportunity to do so. I've been to Mexico. I've been to India. I've been all over India, up, down, north, south, middle. I've seen a whole different like type of living. It's easy to kind of like get caught up in the nanny state that we live in. Go to India for a couple weeks, girl. That shit ain't for beginners. That ain't for you. You'll be hard pressed to find a guardrail on the side of a mountain. Okay, they got us so babysat over here, we can't even think a thought in the wrong direction before somebody's threatening to lock us up. And out here arfing like seals for more laws. Let's make substance abuse illegal, everybody. That's what TMZ seems to be implying they want with their whole entire tab on Tyler Chase. Let's make mental health illegal, everybody. Let's make it illegal to have a mental health issue. You got to go to the work camp. Work, make free. Work, make free. Mighty Ducks star Sean Weiss, a major advocate for Tyler, who didn't know his name a week ago. They left that part out on their TMZ article. Who didn't know his name a week ago, but a major advocate. Why? Did TMZ bother to ask why Sean Weiss is such a major advocate? Just because you went through your own shit one time don't mean you really understand what the other person's going through. Take Steve-O and Bam, for example. Bam to this day, last I checked, don't even talk to Steve-O anymore. They were friends for decades. Doesn't even talk to Steve-O anymore because when Bam was at his rock bottom, when Bam was being trafficked, according to him, held against his will in rehabs in the Florida shuffle, he did not need the type of help Steve-O was advocating for. In fact, and indeed, it broke their friendship apart forever, or for so far. So just because Steve-O himself had been in that situation, and just because something had worked for Steve-O, the 5150 had worked for Steve-O back in 2008, maybe Steve-O was even coming from a good place. I don't think he was, but maybe he was trying to help Bam in that way. But guess what? That wasn't the type of help Bam needed. And it's usually not the type of help somebody needs. There's no shortage of places for homeless and people with addiction, people experiencing homelessness, and people with mental health, people low income to go in California. There's billions of dollars of funding. Billions, plural with a B. There's no shortage of help. The issue, the shortage, is the people that want help. They don't want it. He don't want help. He didn't get in the car. He left the hotel. He don't want the help. But yet we're all being pushed to force it. Homeless could mean anything under the law. So Mighty Ducks star Sean Weiss says a mental health crisis team recently placed Tylor in an involuntary psychiatric hold. So he was held against his will in psychiatric incarceration. This is being reported by TMZ. But then they released him, this is a quote, back to his homeless existence. So where would you rather him be, TMZ? A work camp, a work farm. It's clear where this is all going. TMZ obtained a video of Tylor taking a nap. Imagine you're just trying to take a nap and TMZ gets a video of it. Who is stalking this man and sending videos to TMZ? I mean, I don't know, innocent until proven guilty, but this seems like stalking to me. He's not bothering anyone. He's laying there taking a nap and someone videos it and sends it to TMZ. Okay, weird. Weird. The police spokesperson tells us the police can't help Tylor. And again, this is a false statement, just false. This public servant's lying. He's not considered gravely disabled or a danger to himself or others. So, you know, Lima, remember Lima was talking about this California law and saying Amanda was gravely disabled because she, you know, couldn't dress herself. She couldn't clothe herself. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't shelter herself. So that should be considered gravely disabled. Well, come to find out in Riverside County, that's not the case. Thank God. Because then anything could be anything. Any homeless person could be gravely disabled. I've been literally trying to tell y'all about this for at least 3 years in California. So they did hold him against his will, and they probably drugged him against his will on their drugs of choice. But then he got out and he wanted to leave, which is his legal right. He didn't commit a crime. The police pointed out that Tylor politely declined all efforts by the authorities to get him off the streets and into a facility, explaining homelessness is not a crime. And get this, the police even said if police arrested Tylor for possessing certain narcotics or drugs, the charges would be misdemeanors. He would be released soon after. As we reported, Tylor has been a transient in Southern California for quite some time while allegedly struggling with a meth addiction. The police say they're doing everything they can for Tylor within the law, but they have no leverage. They need leverage. Okay, so here's the thing. Isn't Celeste Rivas Hernandez from Riverside County? Why the cops weren't putting all of this effort, all of this media attention into arresting somebody who killed Celeste? Nobody's trying to chase them down, track them down, and change laws for somebody not to get arrested over there. Why? Where is this coming from? So you can kill a minor or at least have a dead one in your car, you won't get arrested. But if you're taking a nap on a Monday, the cops are going to maybe talk to TMZ about it. I'm just trying to find where the compass is pointing. For what? What? I'm confused. It's stalking. And here's the thing too. If he really is on that drug that starts with the M, I've never even seen it to my knowledge. Maybe I saw it and didn't know what it was. Never saw it. Never, ever did it. Ever would I ever do it. Ever will I ever. If they find me dead with that in my system, y'all better start looking for who did it because it wasn't me. Huh. But if he really is on that, from what I heard, and if y'all know from experience or y'all know secondhand experience or whatever, somebody you know somebody you know, let me know if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it makes you pretty paranoid at high doses. It makes you kind of feel like people are following you and they're all ganging up on you and they're all gonna chase you to whatever. It makes you feel on edge and paranoid. That's what I've heard. at the high doses, at the, beyond a therapeutic amount. I don't know, girl. I don't know. So imagine you're already on that. You're already paranoid. And then people are taking pictures of you and sending it to TMZ. I mean, that's enough to make anybody feel schizophrenic. But I think it's real interesting. Look at the last thing. As we reported, Tylor has been a transient. So experiencing homelessness is the same as a transient, I guess, in Southern California for quite some time. While allegedly struggling with addiction, police are doing everything they can within the laws, but they have no leverage, saying we can't kidnap him. And that's true. I actually agree. I agree with the cop on that. Y'all can't kidnap him. Y'all can't. And, does it make me, happy? Am I glad? Am I cheering on Tylor to do the stuff he's doing? No. But I can't help but ask myself how he got like that. People don't wake up on a Tuesday, start doing meth. I can promise you that. So what happened in Tylor Chase's life? How many people let him down? How many times did he ask for help? How many people, how many organizations did he ask for help? How many times has he been to rehab? I need to know some stuff first. Yeah, TMZ wants to be our new doctors. Same deal with Rebecca. Having TMZ article making all these claims would make me paranoid. It's very bad, okay? I'm not saying I encourage or endorse the behavior, but it's kind of the same thing as like the Nick Reiner situation. Like, this stuff don't fall out the coconut tree, all right? So all of a sudden they want to make a huge viral moment. They want to make us all care about it. They want to pull on our heartstrings and show all these pictures of him as a little cute little baby, and he don't want help. Well, I mean, how do we know what they're offering him is help? Maybe he would have gone to something, but he don't want to go to some other thing. I mean, for all I know, they're trying to give him aura. I don't really think that, y'all, but I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know what this help is. I don't know who the hell Michael Jordan is. And Farrah, whatever the hell. I don't know who these freaking people are. Maybe there's something wrong with that rehab. Maybe he tried and he don't want to go there. Feels like a concerted effort for sure. He's a grown man now. You gotta let people make their own mistakes and learn by their own consequences. It's like the law. It's like not even the law of the land. It's like the universal law. No matter where you are, you cannot control and enslave other humans. Well, you probably shouldn't even do it to animals, but for sure, you cannot control and enslave other human beings. If you want to open a rehab and everybody that comes in and comes through there, they want the help. Come through, girl. Good for you. And said they have moved the Florida model to Asheville, North Carolina. A bunch of folks from Florida moved up there and opened up rehabs and halfway houses. And that is a great segue into the next thing I wanted to show y'all. So, like I have been saying, it is possible, maybe even likely, that these people, Daniel Curtis Lee, and maybe even, what's that other one? Johnny Shipwreck, the pornographer, apparent pornographer. I don't know he for sure. It does seem like he manages some OnlyFans girl, which, mean girl, don't get me started. But, and again, this is something I've had to learn the hard way from a person I really trusted, actually. Not everybody out here trying to pretend like they're going to help somebody is actually trying to help somebody. Sometimes they're just grifting and they're trying to make money. Okay. Sometimes. And the reality is we, the people, we, the public, often don't have any idea which one it is. Are they really trying to help? Or are they trying to grift? They're trying to exploit, make money, steal, lie. All right. We don't know. And I damn sure ain't about to start getting in the business of taking TMZ's word for it. I can promise you that. I'd like to see some things myself. Now, I'm about to read y'all an article from earlier this year, almost a year ago. This was in February. And I just want to make it very clear. I'm not saying any of these people are in any way related to what we're talking about with Tylor Chase, all right, it should go without saying. I think it's very obvious. This is a totally different situation. However, it is real and it is in the news. I'm going to read about it to y'all just to give you an idea that every time you see somebody saying they're trying to help somebody doesn't mean they necessarily are. And we have to be vigilant, especially whenever we're out here cheering and applauding for the Riverside Police to be able to arrest anybody with a mental health condition. Okay, we can't start down that path. Now, just to be very clear, none of that shit applies to me. I rebuke and I do not consent. Nobody can take me to jail over nothing mental health related, and nobody's taking me to jail over anything at all substance, anything related. That doesn't apply to me. But I care, about all y'all and all the people out here and everybody's rights. Everybody in this country has these rights. I believe these are inalienable rights that everyone in every country should have, but I don't have any skin in the game, as it were, in these other countries. I live here. Yep. People with addiction makes easy targets. Yep. Easy victims too, because it's easy to just say, oh, he's a drug addict. Don't listen to him. Just like with Nick REINER. Oh, he must be a murderer because he went to rehab. That's what they're trying to spin it like out here. So I'm not saying this is anything related exactly, point for point, but my brain works in patterns. Okay. And if somebody could be getting exploited over there in Hawaii, and if they could be getting exploited down there in Florida, then what's to stop people from getting exploited in California? Well, to me, not much. So let's read this article. Again, this is just a public article. HawaiiNewsNow.com from February earlier this year. Lots of red flags. Drug rehab recruiters from California fuel concerns over body brokers in Hawaii. They are recruiting people for substance abuse treatment in California and have already succeeded in getting some to leave. So people from California sober homes, treatment homes, abuse treatment homes, substance abuse treatment homes, these are houses. Again, where is all this money coming from? It's coming from the government. It's coming from your tax dollars, California. It's coming from all of our federal tax dollars. Funding these homeless programs, funding these substance abuse programs, billions of dollars would it be? Y'all might have seen some recent stuff about Somali daycare, people from Somalia in Michigan doing daycares. You go into the daycares, ain't no kids in them. I'm telling you, the rehab grift is way worse because it's like $60,000 a month you can get from somebody's insurance. So if you got bodies in the bed, you got money coming in. And the Affordable Care Act that Obama and all them passed in 2014, I thought it was a great thing. I thought the Affordable Care Act was wonderful at the time, but now I'm starting to realize there was some bad that came with it. Okay. One of the things bad that came with it is there's like certain mandatory things within it, and it's created an incentivized economy such that health insurance programs, policies have to cover a certain amount of days in treatment. I think it's 30, maybe it's 60. So no matter what, no matter how much the rehabs cost, insurance has to pay. They have to pay. So that in and of itself is good because I think it's good. If you have health insurance, you're paying into health insurance, you should be able to go to a rehab if you want. But that's a lot of ifs. If you want. So now they're using it to where people don't even want to go. They're getting put in conservatorships. They're getting put in guardianships. They're getting put in Marchman Acts. They're getting put in Baker Acts. They're getting put in 5150s. And then they're being pushed into these rehabs that then in the bad actor situation, this economy has then been incentivized such that it's just cha-ching, 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 just money flowing into these people's pockets. Now, people that go to rehab through the AA method have a 5% recovery rate. 5 out of every 100. It's not very successful. So maybe we need to not pour all of our money into that one system because it don't really work all the time or a lot or even a statistically significant amount. Honolulu, this is again earlier this year. Hawaii health providers and state officials are warning the community that so-called body brokers, body snatchers, slave catchers, anybody? Hello? May be targeting homeless drug addicts. They are recruiting people for substance abuse treatment homes in California and have already succeeded in getting some to leave. It's been called a scam in other states, but no one expected it would be happening here. The alarm about possible body brokers was raised Friday night after two women showed up at Kawahali Health. Kawahali? Kawahale? Girl, I don't know how to say that. Sorry. I do like how Hawaiian words sound though when people who know how to speak it say it. It's like such a cool like sonorant language. Showed up at Kawahale Health Homeless Treatment and Housing Facility on North King Street, passing out business cards and an offer that seemed too good to be true. Janet Nguyen, a health project manager, says the women had found one of Kawahale Health's clients at Ala Park and walked with him back to the facility. Lots of red flags for me, said Janet Nguyen, the health project manager. She began to tell me that they're here from California to try to recruit people, anybody that was interested in rehab. Security cameras at the homeless health and housing facility recorded the women's visit. Project staff who questioned them, including the security guard Raul Rodriguez, said they didn't hide their intentions. It sounded legit, he said. I mean, if you're going to come to the streets over here and tell homeless people, hey, want to come to California for free? We'll house you, we'll feed you. All you got to do is this and this. I would go. But the business cards only had a phone number and a web address for a business called Santa Monica Rehab. Center operator Dr. Scott Miskovich did a quick search and found a warning from Delaware about Santa Monica Rehab recruiting for substance addicts there. Hawaii News Now also found alarming news stories about a Southern California explosion of unregulated clean and sober houses. Yeah, from all that money. The same way the government incentivized certain daycares to be open in certain places and didn't have any oversight. It's the same thing has been happening in California with these so-called sober living homes. It's just houses in the middle of wherever, and they're calling them sober homes. They're calling them treatment centers, but they're like highly unregulated, and no one really even knows where the money's going, who it's going to, what it's funding. Hawaii News Now also found alarming news stories about Southern California explosion of unregulated clean and sober houses and warnings about similar recruiting tactics targeting Native Americans in Arizona for what often turned out to be scam programs funded by insurance and taxpayer dollars. And that is why it's called body broker, because as far as the NGOs and the government is concerned, if you have bodies in the bed of the rehab, just like if you have bodies in the bed of the daycare, that's bodies. So if you have a body in the bed in room 4-2, you got two bunk beds back there in room 4, 4 grown men staying in there. You call the cops to pick them up and track them down like slave catchers whenever these people rightfully leave these places, these hell holes. And all the while they're out here to the news saying, we help addicts, we help them. But who are they really helping? Themselves to our freaking tax dollars. This is how it goes. Now, is it how it goes everywhere? No. I hope it's not even going on half the time. I hope it's less than the majority of the time. I hope. But truly I have no way to know. Because in large part, it's all unregulated. Supposedly it's regulated, but it's not really being like, there's no really oversight. And there's a lot of Markoviches and Sasamoviches and a lot of these like people from the former Eastern Bloc. Okay. People from the former communist countries, they don't have this streak of freedom like we have in the United States of America. People in this, black people, white people, brown people, it's not a race thing. This is a culture of our country. And we got to start being proud of it together. Yes, there's white culture, and yes, there's black culture, and yes, there's this, that, and the other culture, but we have a shared culture too. That is freedom. That is freedom. That is freedom. We do not have a culture of communism in this country. We have a culture of freedom. We have a culture of sovereignty in the individual, not in the monarch. We, all races, and people who immigrated here a day ago, who actually appreciate and acknowledge the American, we have a culture of freedom. But a lot of these people come from places, and their grandparents and parents come from places where it's really not that big of a deal to just lock somebody up in a work make free camp. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's like, yeah, I mean, get them off the street. That's not our culture over here. If you want to do that, go somewhere goddamn motherfucking else, because I'm holding the fucking line. I'm holding the line over here. Give me liberty or give me death. Somebody in here, thank you so much. I'm Native American from Arizona. Foster care system is another place that's targeted. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Same type of thing. Same type of thing. Divided country is easier to conquer. And that's why I just keep reminding everybody we all cousins anyway. Go back far enough, we all cousins. Especially if your family has history in this country. There's not warning signs posted about these recruiters, even though no one is really sure whether they were even representing a legitimate program or not, or whether there's anything illegal about the recruiting. Judy Moore Peterson, Hawaii's Medicaid administrator, MedQuest administrator. Okay, we got Quest again. Still had a strong opinion. It's certainly unethical, and I would argue immoral, but unethical for sure. I agree with Judy. Hawaii News Now called the number on the card and asked for more information about the program. The phone was answered by a woman who only gave her first name, Brittany. I'm just an outreach worker, she said. Just try to let people know I'm also a client in the program. Now, I want to know, does Brittany get a kickback for putting somebody in a rehab? I want to know. I want to know. Just try to let people know I'm also a client. And this is another part of how they build this cult. This weird economy has built up, because what they'll do is somebody will go in for treatment to varying levels of success. Then they'll be put in charge of being like a house mom or a house brother or whatever. And it's like they're very newly sober themselves, or clean or sober, whatever you want to call it. And then they're put in charge of other people. And it's like a lot of times they all relapsing together. I mean, I hate to say it, but y'all know it's true. Somebody said, as an anarchist, I know my rights. Do you have a warrant? Is my welcome? I'm not an anarchist. I want to call the freaking cops and they show up and do their job, but I want them to do their job. But I definitely don't have a welcome mat. I don't have a welcome mat because not everybody's welcome at my house. I'm just an outreach worker. So, she said the company had more than 100 houses in California. Holy shit. The minimum stay was 90 days with a possibility for continued housing and employment after the program. So once you're in, you're not getting out, buddy. You got to still keep working with them, or they'll hunt you down and take pictures of you taking a nap on the park bench. When told about warning signs being posted about her recruiting, she said, it's definitely not a scam. I am a client in the program. But when asked for the name of the company, how many people she had recruited, and whether she was being paid, she hung the phone up. I don't understand why you're asking me these kind of questions. They're strange. They don't want to answer any questions. They just want you to lure your little self right over there. Who knows? The minimum, you're trapped for 90 days at least. What happens if you try to leave? That's what I want to know. But she said those are strange questions. Are you getting paid? She should have said no, right? You would expect her to be, hell no, I'm not getting paid. She hung up. She hung the phone up. Now I just start to wonder, who has the money in the real estate to have 100 sober homes in California? Definitely Scientology does. But they don't believe in medicine, right? They don't believe in AA, right? Who has these resources to have 100 sober homes in California? I just want to know. California Business Records show Santa Monica Rehab was formed in 2022 by Nathan Young. Young and business associates and multiple affiliated companies were sued in 2023, 1 year after they formed, by Aetna Insurance Company, which claimed $40 million in fraud. Holy sh! Again, y'all, I just want to remind and reiterate, I'm not talking about anybody in the Ned Declassified Tylor Chase story here. I have no reason to believe I have no way to know if this is connected in any way at all whatsoever. But what I am trying to point out is that these incentives do exist. These shady companies, which I don't know, maybe this Santa Monica, whatever, isn't shady, but it looks shady to me, do exist. And we can't just think anybody that's saying, oh, I want to help is helping. Look at this. The insurance company sued them for fraud, $40 million freaking dollars, and said the clean and sober homes were more like drug dens with virtually no treatment and highly paid body brokers doing the recruiting. But Young countersued, saying that it conducted a sham audit to avoid paying for legitimate treatment. The facilities are still operating. Attorneys for Young did not respond to the email seeking to confirm if the recruiters were still working with the company. Michael Lambert, director of the State Department of Law Enforcement, says without more investigation, he can't stop the recruiting, despite it being suspicious. I don't see why they would need to recruit outside of California. I'm pretty sure they have quite a population there to serve. Amen. Look up and down Skid Row and Figueroa. But it's possible, I guess. Yeah, maybe they could be legitimate, he said. So the best thing I can do, I appreciate you covering the story, is to just make sure the public is aware, because it may come down just to a decision. The pitch has appeal, and apparently it had worked, with some likely already relocated, according to the clinic manager, who wanted to ask recruiters more questions. When I did ask her if she could return, she told me, well, we're currently right now at the airport with 2 possible clients trying to get them on a plane back to California because they're going to be entering our program. And I said, wow, that was pretty fast. Peterson sounds like it sounds like the clients were pressured. It's extremely concerning that they would come here and force these decisions right away. It's like, oh, you have to get on the plane like right now? That's very worrisome. Many expressed concern that the clients would end up homeless and far from home. And the worst, if they do go out and they want to refuse treatment, do they become homeless in California? That in itself could be a disaster. So, like I'm trying to tell y'all, these people over here with the Neds declassified, Sean Weiss, who didn't even know Tylor's name a few days ago, didn't know how to spell it, didn't know how to say it. They might have all the best of intentions, but I know about these incentives, and my brain works in patterns. So what's really actually going on out here? Why is Josh Harris involved? What's his name? Jake Harris involved. What does he have to do with anything? He's not a former child star. He's just some guy, some barber. And he was put on the hunt. He's on the hunt of calling and getting where's Tylor and this and that. Why? Why? I want to know about these people's incentives. So now I did reach out. I did reach out to Tylor, what's his name? Sean Weiss. And this is what I said. I said, I'm working on an investigation into the people trying to put Tylor Chase into a rehab, as reported against his wishes, right? Because they said he was put into an involuntary psychiatric hold. So that's what I was talking about. I have a few questions for you related to my investigation, Sean. And look, he's even wearing a Rudraksh. He's even wearing a mala. Like, you got to know, if you're doing the Rudraksha, you got to know you don't get to choose for other people's stuff. But here he is. I said, I have a few questions for you related to my investigation. Why did you contact Jacob Harris to locate Tylor Chase? Does Jacob, and again, who's Jacob Harris? This guy, this one right here, posting this stuff, him with the 2 girls, him, that's him. So he's the one that was helping too. He's helping too. I have a few questions. Why did you contact him? Does he have special expertise in tracking down individuals? How do you know him? And where did you meet him? Who is the Boston-based rehab specialist? And how did you come to choose that one? Do you own or have any ownership interest in any rehabs, halfway houses, treatment centers, or mental health homes? Does Jake Harris? Also, what, if any, affiliation or connection do you have with Quest 2 Recovery, its owners, operators, representatives, subsidiaries, parent corporations, or affiliates? Thanks again. So then he actually did respond. Let me see if I have that picture. Yes, I do. Let me pull that up. Hold on. He responded. So I'm about to read y'all his response. He said, hi there. You may send an interview request to seanweiss@gmail.com. I said, this is not an interview request. I asked, why did you contact Jacob Harris to locate Tylor Chase? Does Jacob have special expertise in tracking down individuals? How do you know Harris? And where did you meet him? Who is the Boston-based rehab specialist? And how did you come to choose that one? Do you own or have any ownership interest in any rehabs, halfway houses, treatment centers, or mental health homes? Does Jake Harris? What affiliation do you have with Quest to Recovery? Its owners, operators, representatives, subsidiaries, parent corporations, or affiliates? Thanks again. That was not an interview request. I have no interest in doing an interview. I'm trying to find answers to, I think, reasonable questions. It's not, I don't want to interview. Answer my freaking questions. Thanks so much, Danielle Marie, for the $2.99 super sticker. Thanks so much, Mindful Vibes, for the $10 super sticker. Thank you, BJ, for being a voice for the vulnerable. I wish I'd found you in the height of my addiction. I'm 5 years sober now. Congratulations, but still appreciate everything you do. Y'all, I'm so happy whenever y'all do it yourself, and everybody will tell you, you got to want to do it yourself. Oh man, no, I did not. Sword of Truth, member for 2 months. Did I know that the Mighty Ducks actor's first role was on the Pee Wee Herman Playhouse? No, I did not. But y'all got to check out my Pee Wee Herman video I made on BJ Investigates. Did you know that Pee Wee Herman's dad helped to found the first Israeli Air Force ever? I did not know that until I made that video. Thank you, Joy Connolly, for the $4.99 super sticker. And shout out to Patronus Glow becoming a new member. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta want to do it yourself. Y'all can go interview this man. I have no desire to interview him. I want the answers to the questions so that I can tell y'all. Okay. So I do want to show y'all this guy's video. Oh, another thing too. So when you go to the Quest, Quest Recovery, Quest 2 Recovery, let me pull the website up. This is public. There is a page called Alumni Stories at the top. And when you scroll, this is the first video that shows up. Sean Weiss alumni story. Okay. So let's go check that out then, shall we?
New details tonight on the downward spiral of a rising star.
Sean Weiss, movie star, Mighty Duck, walks into rehab. This isn't the first time and wouldn't be the last.
Fed, you get food.
Played the goalie Goldberg, and the Mighty Ducks franchise is facing charges for public intoxication, but it is his mugshot that's turning a lot of heads.
Why did this make news? Why did this make news? Again, what PR push is behind this? It's almost exactly like what's going on. It's almost like deja vu of this other Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide thing. And now this guy right here, they had these videos of him now, praise God. He's clean and sober. He says, that's amazing. Congratulations to him. Truly, it brings a tear to my eye, both eyes, to see men in these situations. I have such a soft spot for it. And whenever it's finally you man up and decide to take control of your own life, I couldn't be prouder. I feel like every time I see it happening, it makes me happy. It brings a little hope to my life or whatever. Okay. But my brain works in patterns, girl. And why was this on the news? Why in the hell was this on the news? We noticing it, girl. We see it. So not only is it on the news, girl, I mean, it is being used to advertise. It's advertising. It's marketing material. Okay. And it's from 2 years ago, February 2023. Let me go to Instagram because I want to show y'all the Jacob shipwreck. Okay. So this is him Now we're like very many degrees of separation even away from this guy, Tylor Chase, because like I don't even know, the Mighty Ducks thing. Okay, one thing could lead to another, and it was like Daniel Curtis Lee was the one that maybe put Tylor Chase in touch with Sean Weiss, but Sean Weiss is a former child star. He's been through it himself. Okay, fine, but then why is he tagging himself as a collaborator with 11 Recovery, which is a totally different recovery center than this one? This is Quest 2 Recovery. So now, I'm just wondering, does Sean Weiss get any financial kickback from putting people into these rehabs? Yes or no? I'm just curious. Does this guy, what's his name? Harris. This guy, Jake Harris, get any kickback? What's he get out of it? Okay, so he's about to give an update on Tylor. Let's listen to this guy who I have no idea how he got even involved in this situation, other than maybe he's part of Sean Weiss's team. But are these the body brokers? I'm curious. I don't know. I'm just wondering. Girl, I want it. Hold on. I'll have to start it over. Hold on. Let me just get this working.
Feel like they could be helpful for Tylor. So we were able to get him in on there's been a lot going on behind the scenes, and I really only want to make update videos when I feel like they could be helpful for Tylor. So we were able to get him in on a 36-hour medical hold, which in that time they're able to get him clean, detoxed, physically clean. In that time, we wanted to make sure that when he was released, that we had a game plan. He wasn't just released back on the streets and rinse, wash, repeat. So we had a professional rehabilitation coach fly out from Boston to be ready to speak to him.
Hold on. Where's this money coming from? Hold on. I'm sorry. I know that I must seem cynical. I know I must, but I kind of am. My brain works in patterns. This man didn't even freaking know him. He didn't even look. Daniel Curtis Lee commenting, "Long live Tylor." Hold up a second. Sean Weiss didn't even freaking know. Didn't even know this man's name. This is not adding up. There's money to be made because there is money being spent. There's money to be made because there is money being spent. A specialist flew out from Boston? For what? Who funded that? Who paid for the ticket? The most expensive time of the year to fly? And yet Tylor still didn't want to deal with that person. I gotta ask why.
On the phone, and we also had a plan C, which was to bring another crisis team in to do another on-site evaluation. He was not at the time willing to accept help from the rehabilitation coach, although he was very receptive toward the information. So we were able to call another crisis team. They came out and evaluated him. Since he was of sound mind, cleaned up, and not in immediate danger, they weren't able to take him.
Good.
So this video
Good.
is basically to inform the city, and if we could get a hold of
Good. I'm happy. Because if anybody needs to be locked up, maybe it's the ones that are tearing apart the fabric of Western culture and civilization with this bullshit OnlyFans pornography. Well, don't put me in charge. Don't put me in charge, because if we're going to start locking people up, it ain't going to be the people doing meth. It's going to be the people that are rotting the brains and frontal lobes out of our children by encouraging that debauchery. You see how fast the slope could slip? Maybe the people cutting their tongues down the middle to look like a snake need to be the ones arrested for mental health and not the meth people. I don't know. Don't put me in charge. I'll say that. They swoop in to scoop up these people. It's sick. And I rebuke in the name of the one true God, because that shit right there, that ain't of God. Nope, it ain't. It ain't. It sure ain't. So now I want to just show y'all. I rebuke that pornographer in the name of the one true God. But I want to show y'all this map again, this web again. And look, see that, in my opinion, possible AstroTurf from a few years ago. I want to talk about this right here. Police say they can't force Tylor Chase into treatment because of the laws. No, I already read that one. Let me do. What was a New York Post one? Here, this. They can have David running around, though. David can run around free. Okay, got it. Got it. Thanks so much, North Texas Angel, for the $5 super chat and for this tip. I just saw the Boston guy's reel. Victor Oliveira, the good boss, the good project.us. Thank you for all you do. Such amazing job. Love from Texas. Shout out to the Texas cousins in the chat. The people that work for these rehabs are not informed on anything having to do with the rehab. Okay. So this is from yesterday as well. This is New York Post. I'm going to turn on reader view. So I want y'all to remember this guy? Remember this freaking guy? Sean Weiss, who did not know Tylor Chase's name 1 week ago, who spelled it Taylor, who said it Taylor, who did not know this man from freaking Adam 1 week ago. Help me find Tylor Chase, everybody. It's Taylor. You didn't even freaking know the guy's name last week. And now you're out here trying to tell me what to do? Look what this freak, this slack jaw lunatic is trying to say now, who didn't even know this guy. Who died and made this guy the boss of anybody? That's what I want to know. Mighty Ducks actor Sean Weiss begs ghoulish fans to stop taking selfies with ex-Nickelodeon star Tylor Chase. Sean Weiss is begging fans to stop chasing down troubled Nickelodeon child star Tylor. He's an adult now, his former child star Tylor Chase on the streets for Instagram selfies, saying it's hurting their ability to get him the help he needs. Huh? He entered a rehab facility on a 72. So was it 36 or 72? I'm getting conflicting reports. Sean Weiss said in an update on the heartbreaking situation Monday, Weiss, including local barber Jake Harris, have been doing all they can to get Chase into a mental health and rehab center. Again, I don't think these dudes knew Tylor Chase from freaking Adam last week. Quote, Tylor has to want to go to treatment first. Well, that's the truth. I tell you, listen, this is the part where it's like, I'm making a video. I'm making a video. This is the part right here. It says, I'll tell you what's not helpful. Is people want to go to see him and get a selfie and give him money. That's working against us. Wee woo, wee woo. Wee woo. My brain works in patterns. Hold still. Hold on. Let me bring this web back up. Who does that remind you of? What's not helping is telling Rebecca you love her and giving her money. Stop giving Rebecca money. Hold on just one cotton picking fucking second. Hold on 1 second, Mark Lata. You are the reason we know about Rebecca. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Sean Weiss. Y'all are putting updates on your freaking Instagram. People Goddamn Magazine, TMZ, the New York Post, Patrick Riley, is now telling us not to want to take selfies. I posted on my Twitter. I said, wait a second. Let me just show y'all what I posted. Hold on. I've been saying all kind of stuff this morning. Hold on. This was to the TMZ when police say they can't enslave and drug people against their because laws. Yeah, there's that. Hold on. This is to this article. Mighty Ducks actor who did not even know Tylor Chase's freaking name last week, Tylor Chase. He's telling us now, stop taking selfies and stop giving him money. I said, attention everyone. One of the weirdos exploiting Tylor Chase for clout and possibly money or kickbacks by, I don't know, but definitely clout, doesn't want you to notice the celebrity he helped point out to all of us. God forbid someone treat Tylor Chase like he's normal and ask for a selfie with the celebrity. Am I right? Dude's been in headlines for weeks, but nobody can give him money. Hold on. What about this People magazine article where they were trying to set up a trust? Huh? Daniel Curtis Lee was trying to set up a trust to which we could all donate. It says it right here on people.com. Daniel Curtis Lee, elaborated he was hoping to form a trust to which people could donate funds to help Chase get back on his feet, and was looking into rehab programs that would best suit his needs. And now today, we're being told by this fool who literally has his own problems to worry about, to put it nicely, who definitely has his own fucking problems to worry about, to put it nicely, is telling us, even though we were told there was going to be a trust set up that we could donate to, now we are being chastised. And this is how it always goes. This is how it went again in the Nick Reiner case. Look, everybody, care. Oh, just kidding. You can't see that. Hold on. None of us were checking for Tylor Chase 2 weeks ago, first of all. And now that we are, you're not helping. Hold on. My gaslighting era is over and has been for about 2 years. Nobody's about to gaslight me. Nope. No. This is crazy. I agree. Any mentions of plant accounts in my chat gets hidden. Hold on. I get chills when BJ cusses. I told you I started this out saying I'm trying to be nice. If you don't know what a plant is, you in the wrong chat. Bye. Okay. I tell you what's not helpful. Listen, I am trying to be respectful. I really am. I really truly am. And I truly do know that if you have gone through something on a firsthand experience, you are in a better position, most likely, to understand what somebody's going through. Okay. And probably 60% of my platform is dedicated to not judging and not holding people responsible for mistakes they made in the past if they have fixed them, if they have addressed them. That being said, it's pretty ironic that people who apparently don't have very much control over what they're doing in their own life, people who 3 to 5 years ago were strung out on meth themselves, acting holier than freaking thou now, like they know what a stranger needs. Okay. Not only that, but dragging we the people, we the public into this bullshit circus, dragging us into their weird, very strange, exhibitionist narcissism, possibly grift, possibly a weird sexual kink at this point. I mean, I don't even freaking know. But these weird slackjaw losers are out here trying to tell other people what they need to be doing. Not only Tylor Chase, but now me and you. Don't go take a selfie with the celebrity that we just had on your headlines. We couldn't get through a Christmas Eve without having this guy shoved down our collective throats. And now this slackjaw lunatic who didn't know Tyler's freaking name last week is telling us not to take a freaking selfie? Shut up. Ugh. I'll tell you what's not helpful. Strangers taking pictures of him while he takes a nap and sending it to TMZ. They don't want people to give him money, but it's being implied we should give money to the trust. Who's going to be in charge of the trust? Einstein. Who's going to be in charge of the trust? Huh? Don't send him money because it's not helping, but they're trying to set up a trust. So we could send money to them who set up the trust for the benefit of Tylor Chase. This kind of sounds like a Amanda Rabb rehab GoFundMe, does it not? Gonna get the money for the rehab to then pay the rehab to then what? I don't know. I never looked at the books and records. All right. I don't know. Gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case. And yeah. And look, listen, I if any of these people are watching this, this can all go away and I can never make another video again because the truth be told, I don't want to. Only thing that has to happen, here's my conditions. Only thing that has to happen for me to never make another video about this is I don't see no more new articles. If I see no more new articles and no more people with split tongues and demon tattoos and barbed wire face tattoos and people that was themselves just now strung out on meth 2 years ago trying to tell me what the fuck to do articles and all, if I see no more of that, I won't make any more videos. I have no reason to and I have no desire to. And quite frankly, I don't like talking about this subject. It's tacky. I'm over it. It's passe. But if I keep seeing articles on my timeline, I might have to keep still making videos. And I can guarantee you this right here, I did this morning. All right. I did this in one measly little morning. All right. And it's going to just grow. It's infinite how big I can make it. All right. I ain't going to stop because I am going to find the truth and I am going to crack the case. Stop bothering us with your propaganda push. If the lobbying department that's funding this is watching right now, hi. I don't really want no smoke, but stop. This one is, pick a new one. Pick something else. You pushed it too far with this one, buddy boy. I don't make threats. It's just a promise. I don't have any desire to keep covering this icky story with these icky, low-life scavengers. No desire. It makes me feel ill to know that people who could have gone through something like this aren't aware, don't have the freaking IQ. The best case scenario is they're too freaking stupid to see what's happening before their very eyes. The worst case scenario is they're all trafficking people. Okay, so I hope that's not what's going on. I'm going to go with maybe they're just stupid, well-meaning and idiots. But it's pretty unsettling to know somebody could have went through this whole thing themselves and not seen that there are bad actors. Now they're telling us not to take a selfie. I said, God forbid somebody treat Tylor Chase like he's normal and ask for a selfie. Dude's been in headlines for weeks. It was like when Mark Laita told us, don't give Rebecca no money. But Mark Laita was the one out here giving Rebecca money all this time. But we can't give Rebecca money. And if we tell Rebecca, I love you out here on the street, which please, when I say we, I just mean we the people. I don't go over there. I don't go over there. But if one of y'all, if one of us says, I love you, you're so loved, Rebecca, Mark's saying that's not helping. What are these people freaking, who died and made Sean Weiss the king of any goddamn thing? Because definitely for sure, I don't work for him. And it's got me feeling like I might want to buy a freaking plane ticket on my credit card and go over there just to track down what's his name, just to give him a Dave's Hot Chicken and ask for a selfie, because I'm allergic to being told what to do, especially by the likes of this guy. I need to see everybody's bank account. I need to see everybody's living situation. I need to see everybody's degrees. I need to see what their relationships look like. Let me look through your texts and all that, because that's what they're advocating happened to Tylor Chase. And I don't know that these people are living their life right, personally. Personally, I don't know that these people are living right. In fact, and indeed, let's take a gander at this guy. Look at the back of his truck. Look at the back of this guy's truck.
We do not let him slip.
He needs to clean his shit. This man looks like he hasn't gotten a good night of sleep in God knows how long. He looks dirty, rode hard, put up wet. He's in his 30s and still shaving out a slice of his eyebrow. I mean, that indicates mental unwell right there. And look how filthy the back of his truck is. Now, I'll tell you one thing right now. Don't put your camera in the back of my car because it's a little bit dirty too. But this is what I'm trying to say. Today, it's Tylor Chase. He needs help. We need to be able to shove him into the back of our car and drive him down to the rehab. Well, what's to stop them tomorrow from saying, you slit your tongue, you got tattoos on your face, so you got to go to rehab. You can't be out here. You're a danger to your gravely disabled. What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander? What's to stop people from saying, look at your bank account, look at your dirty car, look at your dirty back of your truck? What he needs to be doing is worrying about his own business before somebody starts looking into the taxes and the ownership structure. And by somebody, I definitely damn sure mean me. That's a promise. It's all public records. Hope everything's squeaky clean. Hope everything's above board and not requiring any government intervention. Hope nothing's going to end up audited. Leave people alone. Leave people you don't know alone. Please. If you don't mind. Who even are these people? Who even are these people? The Daniel Curtis Lee, fine, makes sense. They were on the show together. Who's this Mighty Ducks guy? Makes a little bit less sense, right? And then this random barber they're calling an influencer. Neither of those qualify him to track somebody down. What are his credentials? And then whenever I asked Sean Weiss these questions, Sean Weiss said, email me for an interview. What the fuck? I ain't talking about an interview. Who are these people? Look at him, poor thing. He's fine. He's got his McDonald's and his cookies and he's got a phone and his gloves. And it does make me sad. I could shed a tear. I truly could. It's very sad. But what got him to this point? Weiss pleaded with fans to stop treating him like a tourist attraction. You mean after he was shoved down all our collective throats for a straight week, TMZ has a whole tab dedicated to him? Who's us? I'll tell you what's not helpful. People that want to go and see him to get a selfie or give him money. That's working against us. Why? Because you're not allowing them to isolate him from money and support. That's why. Why would giving him money work against them whenever they, or at least Daniel Curtis Lee, was saying they were going to set up a trust to donate money to? So it's not working against whoever us is to donate money to y'all, but it's working against y'all to give money straight to him? Is giving Mark and Rebecca. He asked fans to stop taking selfies. But again, y'all, who the fuck is this guy? He didn't even know Tylor Chase's name last week. He was calling him Taylor and spelling it Taylor. Who is he to tell us not to take a freaking selfie? This is odd. Who died and made this guy that himself just got on the wagon? No offense, but it's the truth. With peace and love, brother. Shout out to you for your 5-year coin, but who the are you to tell people what to do? Calling him Taylor a few days ago. But today, please refrain from giving him money or taking a picture with him. It's not helping. He needs a little space right now. And honestly, we don't know what to do. Okay, well, I'll tell you what to do. Give him some space, dumbass. Duh. If you're saying he needs space, why the fuck is he being pictured sleeping? Hello? Why is he being photographed while he's trying to freaking sleep? That's not hurting him. Just the selfies and giving him money. Just the literal support is hurting him. Got it. This is sinister, and I fear we may have stumbled into a cult. Again, I would really love to never make another video about this. And it's within Sean Weiss and Patrick Riley and Michael Jordan and Jake Harris's power for me never to make another video about it ever again. It's within your power to never see or hear from me about this topic again. And it's in your power. It's within your power. Jake, Michael, Patrick Riley. Let me see who else. Madison Goldberg, Sean Weiss. It's within your power today, December 30th, 2025, for me to never, ever say a word about this ever again. Keep it off my damn timeline. I better not see another TMZ article, and I better not see another people. And if you got some coming down the pipe, just call them up and tell them it's off. Moving on. Next victim. Or we can play this game. But I could do it all day, all night. You notice I never took a sip of water in 3 hours, 40 minutes? You notice I never got up and went need a pee? I could do this all day. I could do this all day, every day. And I might. But I really don't want to. Don't make me. Don't make me do it. They found him and shoved him in our face, literally out of nowhere, and he wasn't bothering us, and nobody was bothering him, and he wasn't bothering anybody. And if he's committing a crime, take his ass in handcuffs to the jail and leave him there for as long as it needs to be left. Period. Soon as he's ready to go to rehab, y'all let him in with open arms. That's great. But that's not what you're telling me. What you're telling me is he won't get in the car. What you're telling me is he backed out. What you're telling me is you had a plan A and a plan B and a plan C and a plan D and a plan E. And I don't want to hear about a plan. None of it. Take care of it in your own house. Do it with your own people. Do it with your own stuff. You got to ride around stalking down people and taking pictures and sending it to TMZ. Don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. I'm sick of it. I'm up to here with it. I'm up to the barbed wire tattoo line of my forehead with it. And I don't want to see it again. Up to y'all. Boko Maru said, this whole video is 1,000 trillion million % on point. I love you. That's a promise. Thank you for checking these string pullers and plant puppets. Look, leave me out of it. I don't want to see it on my timeline. I don't want to see it on my algorithm. I don't want to see it. I don't want another Tylor Chase update, because every new Tylor Chase update comes down. I'm keeping track, and every 3 to 5 of them, I'm making another 4-hour video, and I ain't gonna stop. Y'all want another free Brittany? Y'all want another free Amanda? Y'all want another, Justice for Amanda? Y'all want another free Bam? I got time. I'm about on schedule for one. And the main characters are going to be Sean Weiss, Jake Harris, Michael Jordan, 11 Recovery, Quest 2 Recovery, main characters, baby girls, baby boys. Get your books right. Or just don't let me see any more of it. Those are the options. I think I'm being nice, because I could go down this path without any more. I could go down this path without any more updates. I got so much I could go on. Because I'm about due for another free somebody movement. Don't let me get involved. Go check free Bam and go check free Brittany. If you want to dance, I promise you, you don't. They pull us into it. They pull us into it. They shove it down our throats. They shove it down our algorithms. and then tell us what the hell to do. They didn't even know this freaking guy's name. Taylor, he was calling him. And now he's getting holier than thou when he got his own shit to worry about. Let's put it that way, to put it nicely. Respectfully, sir. They try to force Cat Dad into rehab too. He may be wacky, but he does a lot of self-care. It's very spiritual, intellectual. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, personally. Yeah. Don't make me start looking into people's business models. Mr. OnlyFans promoter, don't let me start looking in. And here's another thing. I just want to remind y'all. The push will be to pathologize. Here's Cardi B getting into a fight all the way back in October, a few months ago, with Nicki Minaj. The relevant part is here. Hopefully, when somebody that really cares about Nicki puts her in a rehab and get her the help she needs. So Cardi B, arguably illiterate, she can't figure out subject-verb agreement. And I don't give a flying rat's ass, to be honest with you. But if you're going to put people who don't know subject-verb agreement as your mouthpiece for forced psychiatric incarceration, then I'm coming back at them. Here's the crosshairs right here. You see them? That's the crosshairs. You're going to find yourself with it on your fucking forehead. Why is Cardi B allowed to just tweet any old ignorant bullshit? Lock her up. Lock her up. I know Lou Taylor was managing her house or her money or something. So Lou, come on. This girl don't know subject verb agreement, but she's out here saying somebody else needs to get put against her will into a rehab. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at another one. The push will be to pathologize. How about this one right here? Hold on. Hold on. I got the wrong thing up. Here's Cardi B's. Hopefully, when somebody that really cares about her puts her in a rehab and gets her the help she needs. So, okay. It's just so pervasive out here. Celebrities threatening other celebrities with rehab, and you come out entirely different. It's so pervasive, they're doing it out loud. Now look at this push. Remember I told y'all that I think it's probably a lobbying group. Maybe they're astroturfing this whole thing. Look at this. Here's 2 days ago or yesterday, Mighty Duck star Shaun Weiss says Tylor Chase is back on the streets. Look at this one right here. Now there's a lot of people saying you got to just let people live their life. Well, here's Emmy Gold. She said everybody keeps saying you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. Taylor, again, this is not his freaking name. His name's Tylor. So she don't even know his name. But here she is trying to tell us what to think. He's not in his right senses. This is the type of thing the lobbying firm would want to push, right? He can't make his own choices because he's not in his right senses. We have to enslave him or allow him to be enslaved and lose his rights because he's under the influence of addictions. He just doesn't know. Someone who cares about him needs to support him and sign some documents of care. Hold on a second. Somebody that really cares about her puts her in a rehab. Oh, look at that talking point, verbatim. Isn't that interesting? Verbatim talking point. Someone who cares about him needs to sign some papers of care so he can properly be taken care of in a hospital or psychiatric. So it's slavery. They want slavery. And I'd suggest his case should not be on camera anymore. Okay. So again, shh, it's not helping anymore. Stop now. Now that we got y'all all caring and we want y'all to, think it's okay to enslave this man. Now stop putting on camera. Hide it all away. Just like Nick Reiner. Everybody come look, come look, come look. Oh no, you can't see the autopsy. Everyone come look, come look, come look. Oh no, you can't. No, not like that. Give money, donate money to the trust. Oh no, not directly to him. Not like that. You want transparency or no? Keep him safe off camera and give him necessary treatment he needs. I said, girl, shouldn't you be worried about Nigeria? Like the place where you live and are tweeting from? I saw the medical system y'all got in place the other day when that boxer got in a deadly crash. Worry about yourself. What in the fuck are these Nigerian bot accounts trying to take away our American freedoms for? That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. And I refuse to be called anything ist for pointing it out, because this is America and we have freedom here. And if you don't like it, that's just totally fine, Emmy Gold. Stay the fuck where you live. See how easy that was? I refuse to be gaslit. These rights are for every American of every race. And I refuse to sit idly by and let a lobbyist-funded bot campaign have us arfing like seals over putting people into slavery. Not gonna be me. On the headstone, it's gonna say, here lies a freedom fighter. Here lies a freedom fighter. Long live the revolution. Ain't gonna be buried nowhere, because guess what? I'll be cremated. They're gonna have to put it on the urn. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm called names. If I'm treated like I'm some kind of monster for calling out foreign interference on our freedoms. Ain't gonna be me. Ain't gonna be me. Hell no. Hell no. Next. Now, I just want to remind you what we all watched. What we all watched and did nothing about. And by we, obviously, we were kids when this was going on. Look at how these child stars 24 hours at Diddy. Look at his face. Nobody rushed to help Justin Bieber when he was getting sexually assaulted by an adult before our very eyes on stage. This is Pink. Grabbing by the throat, kissing. He doesn't want it. Grabbing his butt. This is how the stars, the children, are treated in this country. Now, that one's a Canadian, but I guess now American. Flavor Camp with Diddy. 48 hours with Diddy. And now when Justin Bieber, as an adult, is maybe a little maladapted, maybe had a little run-in with some substances here and there, lock him up. Lobotomize him. Electroshock therapy. Prison if need be. This is what the treatment of these children was before our very eyes. It's not a surprise to me that the child stars end up on Skid Row, end up on sleeping outside the McDonald's. Who was there for them then? It's only when you can make a couple bucks, get a few clicks, get a little bit of clout. Shame on every single last one of you. Shame on you. I rebuke. I rebuke. That's all I really had for today. I don't know if any of these people are up to no good, but I don't know for sure they're not. I have a lot of questions, and you know what? I could stop asking them today. But I'm sick and damn tired of the stuff being shoved down my throat to make people arf like seals over taking away our rights. No. You tried. Y'all tried. I see what you're doing. Move along, try again. Because I could do it all day. And I could do it all day, every day, for years. Love you, Mina K. Bye.